All right, here we go. Michael Blackson, welcome back to VladTV.
Thanks for having me, man.
Well, just last night was the Grammys.
Yes.
And Kanye showed up with his wife, Bianca. And you made some comments about this. You said, is Kanye's wife related to Tarzan? Why is this beach always naked?
Oh, my God.
You said Kanye tried to sneak into the awards with a naked woman. At least try to blend in a little bit.
My thing, man, if you're not invited somewhere, and it's been time where I've tried to sneak into places, you know, or going without a ticket, just because I know I'm who I am, I should get me in. But, you know, lately, you know, his tweets not been Hollywood friendly. You know what I mean? So him going to the award without being invited was not a smart idea. They ain't brought a whole naked chick with you. If you gonna blend in, like, you know, blend in, put a hat on, you know, don't bring a whole naked woman. But she's Australian, so she's almost like Tarzan, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, she's been kind of semi-naked over the past year or so, but this time she was just
naked. I thought it was like a one of those skin color panties, but no, that was all coochie.
Yeah, you could actually see the vagina.
Yeah, I thought it was. I had no idea. I'm like, what the hell? Why would you? But you know what? He a freak.
Do you think that she's actually okay with this, or do you think that he pressures her to do this?
You think she's like kidnapped against her will?
I mean,
I don't know. I'm sure. Yeah. Maybe he put an ad up for a woman that likes to be naked. Maybe she's like a mermaid or something. I don't know what this chick is, man. She enjoys being naked. She had a whole coat on and she dropped the coat.
Just dropped the coat.
And just showed her coochie.
Everything. Coochie.
With a serious face.
Yeah, she did look very serious when she was doing it.
And Kanye just right there, here's my wife's coochie. Anybody wants to take a picture of it?
Go right ahead.
Oh my God, poor lady.
Someone needs to do this with a fat girl.
I mean, I like fat girls, so that was. She's skinny. I'm not into skinny girls at all.
Well, she's skinny, but you know she has big boobs, of course.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw everything yesterday.
Right, is that like?
That was probably like a 32D. I'm
double D, I think.
Is it a double D?
Looks kind of double D-ish.
All right, I give it a quarter.
Yeah, D and a quarter.
D and a quarter.
Well, how would you compare, let's say, Kim Kardashian to Bianca?
I mean, I'm not sure. Sometimes I think Kanye must miss Kim Kardashian because he went and found a wife that looked almost like just a dehydrated, constipated version.
Dehydrated and constipated?
She looked just exactly like, you know, and Kim became famous by being naked on a video, right?
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's trying to repeat.
But this woman just always naked. Kim got naked for a video with Ray J, but this chick is just naked every day. We see her. She's like a walking porn.
Imagine if a sex tape came out on Bianca. That would break every record.
She have a sex tape every day. Yesterday was a sex tape.
Yesterday was a sex tape.
Every day she come out the house, it's a sex tape. Okay.
Well, I'd actually heard that the two of them have like little swinger parties, and they get like male porn stars to come in. Because I remember this one porn chick said that Kanye called her and wanted like a male porn star to join in, and he basically wanted like the biggest guy that she could get. She
wanted with the biggest dick to fuck his woman?
Yes.
Oh my God. But you know, that's big in Hollywood. I heard that a lot. You know, I mean, sometimes you think about it, these guys are super duper stars. You know, they could probably fuck whoever they want to fuck. And after you fuck this same woman for so many amount of years, you probably get tired, right? So now what do you do to keep that pleasure going? Me personally, I don't want to watch nobody fuck my woman. I mean, it could probably be some kind of sick thought. You know, I'm sure there's times where you are having sex and you think of your partner as being somebody else or vice versa, you know? But like, I don't want to see that in real life. I don't think I'm going to respect my woman anymore if I watch another man, especially a bigger dick than mine. I mean, there's nobody dick bigger than mine, but still. I don't want...
In an alternate universe somewhere where someone has a bigger penis than you.
There's somewhere, some village in Nigeria or Ghana or Congo.
Right.
You know, some really dark village with dark-skinned men. I'm sure somebody out there got maybe an inch close to mine. But
just dragging in the sand as he walks. And
yeah, I don't want him fucking my woman, But I mean, I've been in a relationship where the girl enjoyed watching me bang another girl, but I'm not watching no man bang my woman.
Yeah, I've been with girls like that. I've been with girls who they don't want me to sleep with other women unless they're there. Yeah. And they can see it.
They can see it. Yeah.
And they like it.
They like it.
But and they also like girls to a certain degree.
Of course, yeah. But would you like a man bang your woman in front
Absolutely
of you?
not.
Then I have to throw her away.
No, that's a cuckold.
What is that?
Cuckold.
That's
the term.
Oh,
Cuckold.
I mean, have you imagined it though? Have you thought about it? Like,
no.
Never thought about it.
Never thought.
No, not thought about doing it. Like, you ever been, have you just having sex with a woman and imagine somebody else is banging her?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that would make me go soft actually.
For real? Okay.
Right. Yeah. Then it'd just be over at that point.
I've seen somebody fuck my woman. I don't think I would probably want her. I won't, look at her very differently. But poor Bianca. I mean, isn't that Kanye's like? Isn't that a stepmother? His kids, Northwest. What's the kid's name? Northwest, Southwest.
Yeah, Northwest. Yeah, his daughter, North.
Northwest. And what's the other one name? Southwest.
Northwest Saint.
Spirit. And
Saint West is the son.
Okay. Northwest is the daughter.
And then he has twins, Chicago and Psalm, Psalm.
Okay. Like the Bible.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Something chapter what? 23 verse what?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Diddy seems to like it. He would get male porn stars to bang Cassie.
Well, I heard, so you heard it, they've watched the tapes. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, the Cassie turned in some tapes already to the feds.
Oh, Cassie turned it in?
Yes. But according to Diddy, they're saying that it shows consensual sex, so what's the problem? I mean, there's nothing illegal about watching your girl get banged. It's a little weird, but if you want to go and stroke yourself while someone bigger than you bangs out your woman, not my cup of tea, but it won't put you in the feds, so,
Yeah, so, I mean, if that's the case, then he might get off, right?
He already got off. He might be let free.
So all this thing going on, he might actually just walk and be, because at the end of the day, if that's all he did, he didn't commit a crime.
Right. Well, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Well, Kendrick won more Grammy Awards than any other rapper in one night. He won 5 awards last night for Not Like Us. Were you surprised?
No. That's well deserved. Right in time for Super Bowl for him to go out there and perform the song, I mean, it was a great song. When last time we had a beef song that was that good? The one that when Drake beefed against Meek Mill, that song had a Grammy, right? It wasn't nominated?
No, I don't think Back to Back won a Grammy.
Or maybe a nominated. It was somewhere, Back to Back was just, I mean, of course, Not Like Us was much bigger, of course, but that was the last time I remember a beef song doing that well.
You're right. It was nominated for a Grammy in 2016, but it didn't win.
Correct.
Whereas
this one won.
Kendrick won 5 times over.
Yeah, that's I mean, it was a great song. I mean, you can't take it, it's a nice beat, a lot of catchy phrase, a lot of bars, and I mean, Drake gotta be like, you know what, you got this, man, you did this. I'm sure he didn't appreciate a lot of the things were said, but that's what beef is. When beef is beef, you try to go hard, whether it's true or not. Your goal is to destroy your opponent with a beef. So you say whatever it is you have to say, whether there's confirmation or not. And Drake, I think Drake is still a bigger star to me. Worldwide, Drake is a big. Prior to this song, Not Like Us, I don't think you go to India and be like Kendrick Lamar. They probably won't know. India or somewhere remote.
Yeah.
But like Drake is, if I was him, I mean, it's probably got a lot to do with ego. He's a man, he's ego, but Drake is still a bigger celebrity.
Okay,
worldwide.
So if Drake and Kendrick did a show in Ghana on the same night, where would most people go to?
Oh, man. I mean, prior to this song, I would definitely say Drake.
Nope, not prior to the song. Right now.
Right now?
Right now.
I mean, we talking about, trust me, I became a fan of Kendrick, with this song. But I'm not big into rap, but like, this is probably this song may be another song I might know. But Drake, on the other hand, has like a bunch of hits. So I would say, when you say Ghana right now, Drake would probably sell more tickets than Kendrick.
Really? They would go with the light-skinned guy in Ghana?
He ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just it's just that he's been like, he's been making hits and he's been the guy on top for a long time. You know, he just lost a battle.
Yeah.
He lost a fight.
Yeah.
And he should have went a comedic way about it, and it wouldn't been so bad. It wouldn't like he's petty if he would have took the comedic way. Like, you know, all right, you got this, man. You want this. All right, let's, you know, instead of just, you know, trying to like sue this and do that. Because I still think Drake is, you know, he shouldn't let this get to him. He's a big star.
Yeah, I remember I talked to D.L. Hughley about Drake suing. He said this is the most Karen shit he's ever seen before.
The bottom line is, that was the most Karen shit I've ever seen. That's the most Karen shit I've ever seen.
Imagine if Biggie sued Tupac for allegations about him sleeping with his wife.
Let me ask you something. Before I'd have sued you about hurting my career, I'd have sued you for calling me a pedophile.
Right. Imagine if Jay-Z sued Nas for calling him a homosexual.
Right.
Ether.
But this is the province. This is why I think what Kendrick did to Drake, it was like that Milli Vanilli shit. It was like, all of a sudden, you weren't what we thought you were, and you prove it by Milli Vanilli. The mics went off, and they were lip syncing. This, you try to sue a dude because he said something you didn't like. Only a white dude is going to call the police. Because this nigga threatened me. All right, it was the most Karen shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, but I mean, he's passionate about his music, and he probably don't like the whole pedophile stuff that was in the song.
Yeah, but keep in mind, he also said that Kendrick's kid wasn't his, which wasn't true.
Right,
so there was lies going either way.
Right, that's why it's beef. Beef is about lies, you know? But when you say somebody is child molester, like, you know, that's a whole different, you putting a case on this motherfucker.
Well, yeah, but, you know, Drake did do some stuff that's a little questionable. I don't know if you saw that video of like the girl on stage with him and she was 17 and he was like, oh, it's too bad you're 17 and ooh, you look so good and all that kind of stuff. Did you see that video?
I mean, like, you know,
it was a little cringy. It was a little cringy.
Like I've never hung out with Kendrick. I don't know personally, you know, and I'm not picking side because I know one person more than the other, but I've hung around Drake, you know, and I got an idea what kind of women he like. He like a bunch of big booty girls.
Right.
You know, like, and...
Yeah, look at his baby mother. Look at his baby mother.
I mean, I don't know I'm not sure who she is or what she looks like.
Big booty white girl.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, let me show you.
I didn't even know she was white.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, I didn't know, but I've seen he like grown looking women. So that's why when that was said, I was like, okay, this is just beef. They just, you know, just find something that rhymes with something. And
this is Drake's baby mother right here.
Okay. Yeah, we have the same taste pretty much.
Big booty white girls, huh?
Well, I mean, I like big booty, all colors. My dick don't discriminate.
Right. As long as the booty's big.
As long as the booty's big. You could look like me, bitch. As long as you have a big booty, you have
just throw a wig on you and put a big booty in a BBL.
Michael Blackson with big ass. You might get a night with me.
Well, the Super Bowl is about to happen, and your team is back. Now, they were there in 2023 against the same team, and everyone thought they were going to win. By the halftime, they were up 10 points. Were you there, by the way?
I was at the game.
You were there.
Front row.
Front row. You probably spent like $50,000 or something on that seat?
Actually not. I have a very good relationship with the Philadelphia Eagles organization.
Okay.
So I got my tickets at face value.
Oh, wow. How much was a face value front row ticket?
Believe it or not, I bought two of them, total of $9,000.
$4,500 each.
$4,500 each. Every year it goes up. So
what was the street price for those tickets?
Oh, every bit up $30,000.
$30,000
at least.
Okay, got it. So you were there and you're like, yes, my team is finally going to win. We're up 10 points. Screw you, Mahomes. And then the second half happened.
You know what? The second half, I think The Chiefs never. I don't remember them ever punting the ball at all. At all. They never punted that ball at all in the whole game.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we did either. There was, instead of, we didn't, when they scored a touchdown, we ended up scoring a field goal. And that's what happened. Well, they came back in the half. They had the ball in the second half. I think they got the ball back. So when they came back to score, cut it down to 3. They cut it down to 3, and I think we came back, instead of scoring a touchdown back, we ended up kicking a field goal. Now we're only up by 6, and then boom, they come and take the lead. Well, whatever happened. I almost think that's what happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, the game was 38-35. It was so close. It was like right there. You could touch the trophy.
Well, I mean, we couldn't. When you play Mahomes, man, he's all about. I think he purposely keep the games close, and then he just hold on to the ball. You got to not make sure they don't have the ball. You have to hold on to that ball when you're playing Mahomes. Andy Reid is an offensive genius. You have to be, when you're playing this guy, you got to play that game. Hold on to the ball. You can't give that ball to them. And I mean, Jalen Hurts had a flawless game. Oh my God, it was like, besides that one, he had a fumble that ended up being a touchdown. All of those contributed, because who could have put the game away by like 17 points at that time instead of going in the half by 10, could have been about 17. But he fumbled, he got hit and he fumbled the ball, and the other team ran it in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So you can't make a mistake when you're playing a good team. There's 0 mistakes. And in the playoffs, the Eagles, this season, there are absolutely no turnovers, as far as I know, in the whole 2 games in the playoffs. 3 games. Against the Packers and against who we played, Rams, and then against Washington. We did not, you don't turn the ball over, you'll win a game. Pretty much that's what happens. You don't turn the ball over, you will win. You have a good chance of winning. And that's how we won these 3 games. That's how we're in the Super Bowl today. And to win the game, we can't turn the ball over, especially not playing against a perfect team.
Yeah, I mean, you've been trolling Travis Kelce now for a while.
I'm a hater, man.
You're a hater.
I'm a hater.
You say this guy changes his face every leap month. One day it's a beard, another time it's a mustache.
One day like Hitler, another day like a kidnapper. He had a kidnapper mustache not too long ago. Now he looks much better now. He got the beard back, so he looks more normal. Keep that normal look. You're scaring the hell out of the kids with the mustache by itself. It don't go well with you.
Yeah, I mean, you always call him Taylor Swift's boyfriend instead of his real name.
Yeah, man. And I think that's what another thing is, man. Taylor Swift is just, she kind of changed the game a little bit. She got girls watching the game, even though she don't know I don't think she knows much about the sport.
Right.
She
was like, score a home run.
Exactly. Touchdown is a fumble, girl. Just sit there. Interception, hey.
No, you don't cheer for that.
But, she just cheers whenever her boyfriend catches the ball. She cheers. Yeah. It could be 1 yard. She just cheer like it's a touchdown. But, I mean, nothing like having a woman to support you. And then not only that, she's a super duper star. But hopefully it will all end. She's never see this guy lose. So let's see what happens. Maybe after he lose, maybe she might decide to leave him and his mustache.
Yeah, I mean, Philadelphia is going to lose its shit if they win. I mean, just recently when they won, remember that kid ended up falling and dying? That's how much how retarded you guys get when you guys win.
That was stupid of the kid, but rest his soul. At least they got to win it for him. They got to win the game for the kid that lost his life. Died. He died for the team.
Yeah. I was actually in Philly recently, and I had the best cheesesteak I've ever had in my life. You know where I went?
Geno's?
No.
Pat's?
No.
Jimmy's?
No.
Were you on South Street or were you in South Philly?
Not sure.
Was it outdoors?
No.
It was inside?
Well, you had to order. There was no place to actually eat it there. You'd order and come back and pick it up.
Okay, I know Ishkabib was better.
Nope.
They have it inside and outside. Yeah. You don't remember the name?
I do.
Oh, you trying to see if I could guess?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't Jim, it wasn't Geno's, it wasn't Pat. And you don't even know what part of Philly was it. Was it near the stadium?
It was near a park.
Near a park.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Angelo's.
Angelo's.
Yes. By far the best
best
cheesesteak I've ever had. You had to wait over an hour We waited like an hour and 15 minutes.
For
You'd go,
real?
you'd order, and then you'd give like, your phone number, and then they would send you a text when it's ready. You'd come back like hour and 15 minutes later. The
that
best
good?
cheesesteak.
The bread was soft.
Perfect. They baked the bread there. It had sesame seeds on it, which I know some people.
Yeah, I'm not-
And it didn't have cheese whiz on it. I feel like cheese whiz kind of messes up cheesesteaks. They had a Cooper Sharp cheese. It was just perfect. In fact, the owner of Angelo's partnered with Bradley Cooper, and they actually have a version of that same restaurant in New York now. And Bradley Cooper is actually in the kitchen making cheesesteaks.
No.
Yeah, I swear to God. We went there. It was like a pop-up, but they're going to have a permanent location. And every so
Right.
often you would pop out, and I was like, ah! Then you go back in the kitchen.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
Angelo's. I'm
Angelo's.
telling you, Angelo's.
Somewhere near the park. I'm gonna just Google
Somewhere
Angelo's.
near
Angelo
the park.
cheese
Angelo cheesesteaks. Google it. By far,
The best you
the
ever
best. Yeah, even the Barstool Sports guy, you know how he does like the 1-bite challenge? And he had that cheesesteak, and he gave it like a 9 out of 10. Like the tops, he says the best cheesesteak he's ever had.
had. I think the bread has a lot to do with
The
it.
bread does have a lot to
Bread
do
has
with
a lot
it.
to-
And like the cheese versus
Yeah.
steak kind of
You do yours
ratio.
with ketchup and mayo? Like, what do you like?
No, I just put the hot peppers on it.
Hot peppers. I'm more.
Yeah.
Of I'm a banana pepper guy.
Well, yeah, I do a little of both. Yeah, but then I get both.
Okay.
But and that's the thing about Philly is that like some places they put the peppers, like they grill it with the cheesesteak, but in Philly that you put it on top, like you put like the raw, in the cheesesteak.
Well, you have the option. They could cook it inside.
No.
if you want.
I heard that's not a Philly thing.
But real.
That's what I was told.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a real Philly person take me around.
Well, shout out to your boys, Angelo's, man.
Angelo's. Well, A$AP Rocky is currently on trial. Have you been following this at all?
Not much, man. I mean, I don't know. I thought it wasn't a big deal. I just thought like it was a fake gun. So why are we going through all of this?
Well, here's the story. So, A$AP Rocky had a friend named A$AP Relly, who is now known as A$AP Telly, because he's telling. A$AP Telly. So, him and A$AP Telly had an agreement, because I guess one of their friends had died, and Rocky was supposed to pay for the body to be shipped back to New York for the funeral. And I guess Rocky didn't do it, so it caused kind of like some friction. And they go to meet up to talk about their differences, and it turned into like a shoving match. And according to the video and A$AP Telly's confession, Rocky pulled out a gun and shot at him like 3 times. And A$AP Telly said that it grazed his knuckles.
Is it proof?
I mean, it looked like the knuckles were just kind of scraped against the ground. I mean, to have someone fire a real gun and all you have is a knuckle scrape is a little, I don't know. So he presses charges, and I guess the police went and, actually surveilled the area. They didn't find anything, but he went back himself and said he found some bullet casings that he brought in himself. Little shaky. I get it, right?
What? Is that what's going on?
That's what's going on. So it goes to trial, and one day before jury selection, A$AP Rocky's lawyer said that it was actually a fake gun. It was like a starter pistol. And Rocky was offered a 180-day plea deal. So in jail for 180 days, LA County Jail. Considering overcrowding and it's a state case, he'll probably do 2 months or 3 months at the most. But he's facing 24 years in the worst case. And he turned it down. And the judge was even telling him, like, are you sure you want to, deny this plea deal? Because if this doesn't work out, you're going to have a very lengthy sentence.
Almost like the whole Tory Lanez thing.
Exactly like the Tory Lanez thing.
And Cali don't play about
Even
the guns.
worse, actually, because Tory Lanez, I heard, had a 2-year plea deal. Ended up getting 10. Rocky has a 6-month plea deal facing 24.
I didn't know that. But maybe he know for a fact. Is he testifying? Has he tested? Has he went on the
I don't
stand?
think he's taking the stand. I don't think so. I mean, I'm not sure because it hasn't gotten to that part yet. But, Rihanna's showing up to court. I guess she's trying to, sway the jury a little bit.
I would take that 6 months, man. But I won't take it if I know for a fact I didn't have a real gun. If you know for a fact he didn't have a real gun, I'm sure if he knew for a fact he had a real gun and he shot this thing, and and I'm sure then he would have took the plea deal.
Well, here's the thing. Even if it's a fake gun, if they prove that he shot it at ASAP Telly, that's still a charge. That's still a serious charge. It's just like selling someone some fake cocaine. You'll still get charged like it's real cocaine. It's still considered assault and you know and so forth, like threatening of a person's life and everything. You see what I'm saying?
Who's this lawyer? Like this guy?
No, he's got a big lawyer. He's one of Trump's old lawyers. He's got a real lawyer. I mean, think about it. His baby mother is Rihanna. Like, they have all the money in the world to spend. But it just seems insane. Insane. And here's the thing also. Rocky actually has a concealed carry permit in Los Angeles, which is, as you know, very hard to get.
Right.
And he has real guns at home, registered.
Right.
So you're going to tell me that you're going to go meet someone who you have an issue with, so you go and bring your fake gun? Juries aren't stupid, right? Why would you bring a fake gun to go meet with someone you got beef with?
He must know something we don't know, that he feel like he might get off with this. Maybe that's why he would take that risk, because I won't take the risk.
But
you want me to do real time. I understand. Yeah, you'll go in there for maybe 3 months max.
Yeah. What's
and
the big
get
deal?
out and this will be done with.
Yeah, they'll put you in protective custody. You know, they understand you're a big celebrity. They're not going to let anyone rape you. They're not going to let anyone stab you. Like, trust me. Like, ASAP Rocky getting stabbed, you know, people start losing their job over that. Here's the thing. Like, I understand that the truth is the truth, but in a courtroom, it's not the truth. It's what you could prove. So if you don't do a great job proving that it was a starter pistol, and why on earth, like you have guns at home?
No.
No? Okay, I have guns at home. I never would even consider bringing a fake gun with me, because if I pull out a fake gun and someone has a real gun, then it's over.
Exactly.
Right? I remember, like, I was in Vegas for New Year's, right? And I usually carry pepper spray around with me. And I went to this gun store to get some pepper spray, but the only thing they had was like a pepper spray with like a gun holster. And I'm like, no, I'm not touching that shit. Like, if I pull out something that looks like a gun and someone's got a real gun, that's it, I'm dead.
So true.
You know what I mean? You pull out some pepper spray, you know.
Here's my big thing with entertainers. All right, we make all this good money, right? Make good money.
Yeah.
You know, what this guy's probably, you could pay somebody $100,000 a year to carry a gun.
Well, I think he actually had security with him that day.
I mean, so why would, I mean, like, my security now, he's also a cop. He's also a comedian and a detective, not just a cop. He's a detective that could carry a gun anywhere in the United States.
Right. Yeah, I have guys like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, you check the gun and pay somebody. Why would you even put yourself in that situation?
I think Rocky showed up to the meeting with actual real security. So I don't understand why he would even bring anything.
Why he physically has to carry it himself.
I don't know. The whole thing sounds wacko to me. Like, honestly, the whole thing sounds ridiculous.
But you also got to keep in mind, you know, 2-3 months might sound like nothing, but in jail, man, that's a long time for somebody that's never been to jail.
No, but he's been in jail.
For how long?
I think he was in Rikers at one point, which is a much, well, no, I don't know if LA County and Rikers is probably about the same. But yeah, I mean, he even told stories. Because I remember Casanova 2 Times, the rapper?
Yeah.
There was a whole story where he said that Casanova 2 Times, like, saved him, like, in Rikers, because a bunch of guys were going to jump him, and Casanova stepped in and so forth. So he's done jail time before. Oh. But I think doing jail time as a broke person and doing jail time as a famous millionaire is a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. But still, like, okay, like right now, where I am, having the type of money I have, at my age, with my life, I would take the 6 months.
I would
just take it. Even if I knew it was a fake gun, I would just take the 6 months and say, okay, I'm done.
Even because now you're prolonging this thing, you know, because even going to court every day is stress.
Yeah.
You know, how long this case gonna go on for? 3-4 months? You could knock that time off already and be done with it. So I kind of agree to that, you know, but like I said, he might know something we don't know. He might know a judge, he might have a connect. So he decided to fight it. I'm almost certain that he's not gonna do no jail time. He's gonna, for him to take that risk with all that money and his wife and everything, you know, he must know something that we don't know. And I understand, you know, he's not Tory Lanez. We know what Tory went through, and you know but Tory was a little different. You know, Tory had a whole lady like in court fight, you know, crying and doing all that stuff. So.
Well, that's the similarity, though. The similarity is that in both cases, the victim is taking the stand and pointing the finger at you and said, this guy shot me. Me and Tony A used to have all types of conversations about this. He said that in his life, with all the hood shenanigans that he was involved in, and the shootings and the robbings and the drug dealing and everything else like that, he had never heard of anyone going to court when the victim is willing to testify against that person.
Exactly.
Now, if the victim's dead, then okay, you got a chance. If the victim doesn't want to take the stand, okay, you got a chance. But when the victim is going to take the stand and point the finger at you in front of the whole jury, you do not go to court at that point.
If a civilian get on the stand and say, yo, he shot me, to me, you're going to jail.
You know, one point back in the day, I remember most of the time when I ever went to court was traffic court.
Yeah.
Right. Whether you got pulled over, this and that, whatever. And what I learned is whenever I showed up to court for a ticket, if I see that cop that gave me the ticket, I take the plea.
You just take the plea.
Just
You're
take
out.
the plea.
Yeah.
If he's not there, they throw it out.
Oh, yeah, that's happening
just
to me,
that
yeah.
simple.
Uh-huh.
You know, so when that guy is there, going about to testify and point the finger at you, he got shot me with a real gun. You know, did he go to the hospital afterwards, the kid?
Not sure. Probably not.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, is there still room where they could just pay him off?
Well, he's filing a civil suit. And that's like what most people don't understand is that there's a bigger play for A$AP Telly, right? Because you have criminal court and you have civil court. In criminal court, there's a very high standard in order to convict somebody. It's guilty outside of a reasonable doubt. So if you could prove a reasonable doubt, so let's just say that I'm 90% sure he did it, but there's a 10% chance that something that maybe he's innocent, then he'll go free. You know, there's a new, on Netflix, there's a new OJ series, right? And they have one of the jurors. And, you know, this is the first time I ever heard a juror speak from the OJ case. And she said,
a black lady.
It was a black lady, right.
Okay, I remember, I think I saw her.
Yeah. And she said, look, you know, I do think that he did it, but, you know, OJ's legal team did a good job to bring up reasonable doubt. You had a racist cop who got on the stand, and when they said, have you ever set up somebody to be convicted by planting evidence, he said, I plead the fifth. When you have the cop, the main detective saying, I may have planted evidence in the past, that's reasonable doubt. And then, of course, you have the glove that doesn't fit, you must acquit. Okay, you set up reasonable doubt. But remember, OJ lost the civil case.
He did.
Right? So in a civil case, if you are 51% sure the person did it and 49% sure that he didn't do it, you have to go guilty. So if A$AP Rocky gets convicted of anything, including a plea deal for the shooting, then A$AP Telly will automatically win the civil case.
Maybe that's why.
And that's why I think that Rocky's not getting married to Rihanna, even after 2 kids. Because they're probably worried that if they have joint property, then now you're doing a civil case against $1 billion, you know, set of people now who are married. Right. So Rihanna's probably like, get past this and we'll talk about getting married.
So true.
So that's what I think. Well, even A$AP Rocky got money, but not like Rihanna money. So if A$AP Telly gets any sort of conviction, including a plea deal, he's about to get millions and millions of dollars on the civil side.
So that's probably why he didn't take the plea deal.
Maybe.
I mean, is it too late? Can he still take the plea deal?
Well, it depends. Sometimes plea deals are only there for a limited period of time. I mean, technically, you could take a plea deal up until the day of the jury verdict, but that's only if the DA offers it. Now, the DA could take it off the table. Every day during trial, the dynamics change, and there might be a new plea deal. Or the plea deal you got yesterday is not the plea deal today. You know, I mean, he may get a 6-month plea deal today, but a week from now, it might turn into a 2-year plea deal. Or it might turn into a 1-month plea deal. Or just, okay, here's probation. You know, for example, like the Young Thug case. Ultimately, he got time served. Mm-hmm. But he was offered like a 20-year plea deal, a 10-year plea deal, and they finally whittled it down because the case started going badly.
Right.
You know what I mean? It depends on how the case goes. But once the jury verdict happens, it's all over.
There's no turning back. It's over.
Yeah.
You're stuck with this.
Yep. Well, since our last interview, Trump has become president again. And Trump is actually trying to get rid of income tax.
All right.
And you said he'll be the GOAT.
Oh, he'd definitely be the GOAT. If anybody could do that, and I almost think that he's working on it, that's why he's taxing everybody else around us to find ways to replace that money. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, America would probably crumble. You'd probably turn to a third world country, probably. We might turn into freaking Rwanda or something.
Rwanda.
Well, Rwanda is doing pretty well. I know that's not a really good example. I can't think about a worse example, but I'll think about it. I'll let you know.
Liberia isn't doing too well.
Liberia's gonna come back up. Don't talk shit about Liberia.
Right, but Liberia at one point was pretty bad. Like, remember the beaches with all the garbage and everything?
Well, Liberia had a couple of civil wars that set the country back, but it's slowly fighting its way back. We're gonna get Liberia back to what it should be.
Actually, hold on. Let's look up the poorest countries in the world. Let's take a look. The poorest country in the world.
Anemia or something with an N.
Hold on, I'll tell you. South Sudan is number one.
Sudan?
Yes.
Who's number two?
Burundi.
Burundi. That's who I was thinking of. So they're number two.
Number 3 is Central African Republic, CAR.
Okay.
Number 4 is Congo.
Damn, Congo.
Number 5 is Mozambique.
Wow.
Number 6 is Niger.
Niger, yeah.
Number 7 is Malawi. Number 8 is Liberia.
Damn.
Number 9 is Madagascar.
Shit.
And number 10
that's
is
a real place.
Number 10 is Yemen. Are all of those
Yemen?
countries in
Yemen?
Africa? Yemen.
No, Yemen is not in Africa.
Well, it's the Middle East. So is it on the African side of the Middle East? Or
Nah, it definitely not nowhere north. It's not North Africa. I don't think.
It's not North
Is it Africa or just a poorest country in the world?
No, it's the poorest country in the world.
Oh yeah, and Yemen is definitely not. Yemen is definitely Middle East.
Yeah.
Like on the
Yeah, but
Middle
for
East
example,
side.
like Egypt is the Middle East, but it's
I
Africa.
know.
That's why.
But Yemen is definitely not part of
Well,
Africa.
they're all either Africa or slightly north of Africa.
But most of those were Africa.
Yeah,
Most
that's
of them
too
were
bad, man. That's kind of messed up.
It is, but the people there. I mean, I remember when I was a kid. At one point, Liberia was. I don't know what. Sometimes certain things that would cause a country to go bad. Liberia was definitely due to the civil wars. Prior to that, Liberia has so much going on. It was a great place to be. And then it started in the early 90s when they had the Civil War, 1990, something like that. And things just went downhill from there. But they're fighting through it, and they're trying to get Liberia back to where it used to. I'm a big supporter of Liberia, and I'm doing my best to get people to go to Liberia, tour Liberia. Liberia has a big history. Liberia was when slaves were let free back in 1890, whatever that was. Liberia was where most of them went back to settle to. Whether it was 13,000, a few thousand people went to Liberia.
So they went back to Liberia.
Went back to Liberia,
Right.
and that's why. And I think slaves were free. Has something to do with Monroe, because the capital is named Monrovia, named after Monroe.
Huh.
And Liberia is, if you notice, the flag of Liberia is pretty much the same as the United States, just it has 1 star instead of 50 stars.
Oh yeah, you're right. I've never seen it before.
Yeah. So and I've been
Looks like Puerto Rico almost.
Almost, yeah. I've been trying to teach a lot of Black Americans the history of Liberia.
Yeah.
You guys need to go back and visit, and this was where. And back then, from the 1890s all the way to 1980, Liberian presidents were pretty much from Black American descent, because when they went back, they were the educated ones. They were this, they're the one that was smart, and they, so they pretty much one that were leaders of the country. For many years till they were overthrown in 1980. I was actually there when that whole thing went down.
Yeah, Michael Jackson had a great song about Liberia also.
Oh yeah, Liberia was great.
Liberian Girls.
The 80s was so beautiful, but we'll get Liberia back.
Okay, so Trump
Yeah.
getting rid of income tax. You said he'll be the GOAT
Yes.
if this happens. And you say, Trump, you're getting rid of shit, also get rid of baby mothers.
I was just trying to be funny. Well, maybe the term, because here it is, there are kid's mother and his baby mother. It's two different things.
Two different things.
Yeah, baby mother is this one crazy bitch that get on your nerves. Just everything she do, whatever it takes to make your life miserable because you guys are no longer together.
Yes.
That's a baby mother.
Yes.
Yeah, kid's mother, we just probably, things didn't work out. You know, you guys still co-parent without the court being involved. You know, and she probably found a new man, and then she moved on. And that's the most important thing is when you leave a woman, it's best for her to find a new dick.
Right.
Because dick definitely would keep a woman in a good place.
Right.
You know, when they remarry, my God, that's the best thing that could happen to a man.
Oh yeah, no. I have one of my best friends. He has 2 baby mothers. The kids were born like 6 months apart. Right.
Okay, like ghetto twins.
I'll let you say it. And one of them got remarried, you know, to a white guy, had another kid, and things are relatively calm. The other one has been single the entire time and is an absolute fucking nightmare. An absolute terror.
You know, I had my baby mom, you know, it was horrible. Then she got married. Peace of mind, but everything was cool. I mean, I must not even communicate with the guy. Like if I'm coming to get the kids, you know, make them feel important, communicate with the guy, and everything was great. And then they got divorced and separated. Oh my God.
Went bad again.
Went bad, became even worse of a nightmare. But, you know, it's all over with. My kids will be 18 in like a couple of months.
Oh, and that's it.
And I'll be
no more child support.
No more child support. But you know, the difference with me actually, you know, I've paid already. So what I did, I'm a person, it might be an African thing. I hate bills. I hate mortgages. I hate car notes. And I said to myself, you know, whenever I get to a point where I don't have to have those things, I'll get rid of them.
Yeah.
And because of that, my child support, I spent for the last few years, 5-6 years, when I started making money, I pay my child support. I pay my child support once a year.
Oh, so you just pay the whole year in
I
advance.
pay the whole year. So
Right.
I'm pretty much, so they graduate high school in June. So with child support, either when they turn 18 or when they graduate high school, whichever is last.
Okay. So
Right, so
if they
I'm-
get held back a few years.
If they get held back, you screw. If they get held back, you screw. But I
Yeah.
got smart kids, thank goodness.
Okay, thank God.
So December came and I paid for the rest of the year. So I paid up
you're
to
done.
So I'm done.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever considered hiring gigolos for your baby mother? Well, you said that things are better when they get some dick. So why not just pay for some
Honestly, man, it's a point where I thought about, you know, hitting up some of my homies.
dick? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? And like,
slipping them the number, like, hey,
yeah,
listen,
it's a number.
she's
They
easy.
say I ran into you 3 years ago, you know.
Yeah, just find out where she is and then just send them her
Please,
way.
just-
Like,
Fuck her good and get some of my child support back to me.
right.
Find a way to get some of this
you
money
can pay them.
back.
I'll pay for the date. I'll pay for the hotel room.
Get some of that money back, man.
Right.
You know. But yeah, man, trust me, when a woman is getting dick, it makes things a lot easier for the father.
Well, you talked about how your kids are saying that Trump might deport you.
Yeah, they're funny. My kids, they're very comedic, you know. They're like, oh, Trump is president. I know you like him, man. He's about to send you back to your country. I said, listen, kids. Okay, when I gave birth to you guys, when you guys were born, I was undocumented, okay? So guess what? We all getting deported. He said, Dad, whatever.
Right. You also said that you got a new haircut to look as American as possible
Hey, man.
during the ICE raids.
You said doing what?
During the ICE.
Oh, yeah,
the ICE
man.
raids. Yeah.
Hey, and the thing about it, you know, and I'm sure I'm not most Mexicans or whoever they are, they're making themselves look as American as possible.
Right.
Because they're pretty much judging a book by its cover. You know, if you put up somebody, and I'm not sure how ICE is working. I mean, they haven't popped up to my house yet, or I haven't seen them in person. I just keep watching them on IG, popping up in places, and Mexicans jumping in different places and blending in to the walls or whatever they're working at. But I have not, you know, I mean, I was just being funny, but I'm pretty sure it's happening where people are altering their looks and talking as American as possible.
Bleaching their hair blonde or red.
Lose your accent. They're coming for you. And, I had to get rid of my African accent. I don't want to be questioned or bothered. They pull up, they're like, hey, where's your green card? I said, listen, man, I'm from Philly, man. You know what I mean? Man, you better go ahead. You tripping, dog. I'm Philly. I bet. That's what's up.
So can you do a full-blown American accent?
To the best of my knowledge. You know, this whole thing went down with Katt calling my accent fake. I said, you know, my American accent is the one that's fake. When I'm talking American, it's me just trying to talk like an American so people can understand me easier. And, you know, but my African accent would never leave me. It's like, it's a language like the British guys, you know, Idris Elba. When he talks regular, that's him just trying to talk American. His native tongue is the cup of tea, the British English tea drinking English that he speak. But I think I could. I'm not sure how long, because the longer I talk, the more the accent keeps coming in, whether I want to or not. So whatever it is that you came to this country with will almost never leave you. Not unless you come as a baby.
Right. Well, I came over when I was 4.
See, right.
So I don't think I have a Russian accent when I speak. Do I?
No.
I sound straight American.
You sound straight American.
Okay, so can you do a full-blown American accent, like an Idris Elba on The Wire American accent?
I mean, this whole time, there's not an American accent?
I could hear a little
See?
bit of it. But then again, I'm an immigrant, so
I guess
I'm key.
I can't.
I guess you can't.
Damn.
Well, but when I had Donnell Rollins on here like 10 months ago, he actually said that your accent is fake and that it comes out like when you're at the bank and stuff like that. Did you ever see that clip?
No.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
When it comes when I go to the bank.
Yo,
Michael
all
Blackson
this
does
is...
have a fake African accent.
No, he does not.
What?
I just interviewed him, and I hung out with him afterwards. He may accentuate it maybe in certain skits.
You know what you want to hear is?
So you're saying he's from Africa. He just became a U.S. citizen.
Mike, and no disrespect, man, fuck that. I'm just saying this. Mike, you know why you never seen him without his African accent? Because you never talked to him about money.
What?
Talk to him about his money.
And nigga would come out
I
of
seen him
him.
go back to his motherfucking Philly voice. Motherfucker don't get right with his money. He not gonna be like, where's my money, motherfucker? He gonna be like, yo, nigga, where the fuck is my money? Oh, man. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that one alone, son. The fact that you gotta talk to
Exactly.
Mike about some money.
So Donnell Rollins says you have a fake accent too. Until some money comes around.
Hey man, when it comes to my money, maybe my Philly accent might come out more. But talking about Donnell, I actually performed with him last night. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad I went on before him because I got to the Laugh Factory and I saw the lineup and they had me last, like going on last. I said, hey, listen, man, Donnell is one of those guys that go on stage that don't know when to get off. Because of that, put me on before him. I went on before him, did my thing, hit him hard, 20 minutes, done. Donnell probably went on after me, probably did 45 minutes. Mind you that on a Sunday night it's like 5 different headliners come through. We all supposed to do 15, 20 minutes if they don't light you up. Mm-hmm. 45 minutes. Now the last 20 minutes was the part that was so annoying. So he has a problem with Corey Holcomb.
Yeah, I saw that.
Big problem with Corey Holcomb. And I think recently Corey Holcomb said something about Dave. Corey Holcomb said something about Dave bombing in some show. Mm-hmm. And Donnell was defending Dave because, Dave is his guy. And I mean, and one of my guys, my boy Kojo said something. He said, Mike, there's nothing like having somebody that just have your back, especially when you don't want to reply to these dumb things. Mm-hmm. It's always going to have somebody that and of course, I mean, Dave is feeding the guy. So of course, as he should defend
Dave
him.
just put him on Saturday Night Live again.
He did.
Just recently, yeah.
So Dave is like, Dave did help his career a lot.
Of course.
And Donnell also has to thank me for helping his career as well.
How so?
This is how it happened. Def Jam, 1994 maybe. All right? We're taping Def Comedy Jam. Russell Simmons Def Comedy Jam in New York. It was just after Martin. I think Martin was done hosting it because Martin went on to do movies and a bunch of things. So then they were having, they had like Joe Torre hosted that year. Right? Joe was one of the hottest guy. He just came out of the movie Poetic Justice, one of the hot comedians back then. So Joe was the host. And on Def Jam, when you tape the show back then in 1994, they would tape 5 comics, and one of them definitely not gonna make the cut. Definitely not gonna make the cut. They just tape 5. They take 5, and they take the best out of the 5. They take the best 4 out of the 5. It was me, Monique was on the show, and Donnell, I'm not sure who the other 2 was. I don't remember. So I used to go on stage, and I used to go on stage back then back then we talking about I was a new comic, really hyped. You know, I just started going to New York a lot because New York, one thing about New York would bring the best out of you. You know, so you go to New York to perform, and New York will let you know if you're really funny or not. You know, so even though Philly was cool, but Philly was more like, when you did Philly, you did the comedy club, then they have like rooms. You know, New York has comedy club, then they have rooms. Rooms is where they turn a nightclub into a comedy show where you go out there, you just curse and roast motherfuckers all day. It's like, it's a whole different thing. People don't survive in rooms. You'll survive in a comedy club. So when I started out, I was in a comedy club in Philly where, you know, there are rules you have to follow. They didn't like new comedians going up there cussing, you know? And then a lot of time, they would hire the new guys to open up for the headliners they bring in town. And no headliner when you out there don't want to open an act out there trying to cuss and be more vulgar than he is. You know, it's a headliner's job. It's his show. So, you know, we'll go to New York and we'll do our thing. And New York was so tough that my closing joke was, I think, was one of the hardest joke, right? So I'm not sure how I came up with this joke. I remember one Halloween, I was buying a costume and I bought this John Dukakis mask. Remember John Dukakis? He was running for president.
Ran for president, yeah.
Yeah, he had this funny look inside.
Yeah.
He had his face almost looked like Saddam Hussein type of.
Right, he had a big nose. And
Big nose. I had a John
remember that.
Dukakis mask and I also saw this big fake white dick. It's a rubber dick, right? A fake rubber dick, but you just stuff like paper in it to make it look hard, right? So it's Halloween. I had this mask, Dukakis mask, and this fake dick sticking out of my pants, and I'm walking down South Street in Philly for Halloween. People just going crazy, laughing, taking pictures, right? They went nuts over this dick, right? And I'm like, damn, let me try this dick in my act, right? So for like 6 months, and this all happened prior to my audition for Def Jam. For 6 months, I'll perform, and that's how I close out my show. I said, before I leave, I'm sick and tired of everybody talking about all these diseases come from Africa. I said, Africa, we have one disease. It was called big dickness. And I got that motherfucker. And I pulled my pants and pulled this big dick out, crowd go crazy. Good night. Right? When I did my audition for Def Jam, I did it. You know, the crowd went crazy. Bob Sumner loved it. He was a talent coordinator. And then, boom, I got a date for Def Jam. I went to Def Jam, killed the show, right? Closed out this big dick. Crowd went nuts. I walk off stage, the dick is still hanging out, and I walk off, right? And then they realized that dick was too deaf for Def Jam.
Right. I was going to say, it's a little X-rated.
It was a little bit too much, and I wish that coordinator would have told me that, Mike, you know, that shit's not going to make the cut. I would have never did it, because I was so funny, and I could have still survived the show. You know, my show was that good. And if my Def Jam would have came out in 1994, I would have probably been a superstar. I mean, because everybody that had a good set on Def Jam became an instant star. Instantly got an agent, got a manager.
Yeah.
He became a superstar. So when I put out that dick, you know, they couldn't edit it out. If I would have said, thank you, good night, tuck the dick back in, zip up my pants, it would probably be, they could have found a way to close it out, to edit it. But because I walk off with this dick hanging out, the editors couldn't do nothing with it. So because of that, and because when we did that show, Darnell Rollins knew he was the weakest link on the show. He was the weakest guy on that 5 comedians that would tape that night. And because I pretty much eliminated myself, he got on his air because I pulled that dick out. And today he still thanked me. He said, Mike, thanks for pulling that dick out, motherfucker.
Thank you for the dick.
My dick helped this nigga's career. You better thank me, motherfucker. Thank me and my dick for helping you out, Darnell Rollins. Because Dave Chappelle would have never met you if I didn't pull my dick out.
Well, Trump. A lot of people were upset over the performers at Trump's concert. Snoop Dogg, Soulja Boy, and Nelly. In fact, Janelle Monáe had like a after party after the Grammys last night where she said, fuck Nelly, Nelly, you sold out. She was basically performing Hot in Here. It was like, Nelly, you sold out.
Oh, for real? Okay,
Yeah, she actually turned it into a song.
Oh, wow.
She turned Hot in Here into Nelly, you sold out, and fuck Nelly. Me personally, I feel like people look at Trump differently now than they did 8 years ago. 8 years ago when he was first getting elected, where no one wanted to stand next to him. Remember Steve Harvey got, just skewered for even standing next to him. Now it's like everyone's hanging out with Trump and it's all good. Weren't you supposed to go to the inauguration?
I went to the inaugural ball.
Okay,
I went to the ball, the Liberty Ball. In fact, I made a whole post about it. You see it? The post I made about it? Okay. Here's my take on that. Here's my take on hold down to Trump, okay? And those guys, all right, first of all, I think with Snoop, if Snoop never said what he said in 2017, it wouldn't been as bad.
Right. No, I have a video. We'll actually play it. He basically said, fuck Trump and you're a sellout if you vote for him, blah, blah, only to be performing for Trump.
He just don't give a fuck. Y'all honest, blue-collar, hard-working people and suffering. So if he don't care about y'all, he really don't give a fuck about us. So fuck him too. And fuck everybody down with Donald Trump. I said a year, Snoop Dogg, nigga, fuck him.
Well, it was for the crypto. It wasn't necessarily for, it was during the inaugural week. So anything that was going on in D.C. that week seemed like it was for Trump. It doesn't necessarily mean that it was Trump's event.
No, he was performing at an event connected officially to Trump.
Okay.
You can't just glaze over that. It just is what it is.
Right. All right. So I think without that video from 2017, it wouldn't look as bad.
Yeah.
And I think what I would have done if I was Snoop, I would have probably said something about it before I did it. I've been like, okay, fellas, listen, I know I did this video a few years ago, but this guy has won. We have to, he's the president, we got to respect him. I got a couple of homies that I might need to be pardoned. You know what I mean? I got these football team for these kids. I gotta go get this money, guys. I apologize, but I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna get this crypto money. If you just made it comedic prior to him doing it without saying nothing at all of a sudden he just pops up and people, and then they're going in on him. I think he should have probably addressed it prior and it wouldn't have been as bad. But hey, people say things and things changes. You never know. Maybe he had a talk with Trump. Maybe, who knows? At the same time too, I'm thinking Elon Musk probably has something to do with this. Elon got so much money because he was one of the first guys that posted that video of what Snoop said, right? He did, right?
I think so, yeah.
Elon posted that. Elon probably get this motherfucking $5 million, let him come do this shit, and then we're gonna make him look stupid. That could have been possible too. Maybe I might just be thinking too much.
Yeah.
But when you talk shit about certain things, sometimes things will come back and bite you in the ass. And that's probably what happened. But all the hate against Snoop Snoop is one of our guys. He's a good guy with a good heart. He's for the black community. So if he's doing this, it had to been some pretty decent reason, whether it's a fat paycheck, maybe, or he just looked at it as it wasn't a big deal because he didn't feel like he was performing the inaugural ball. It was an inauguration. He felt like it was just something that had nothing to do with something. Because even Soulja Boy said, here, this is just, Trump not even there. This ain't about Trump. This is for crypto.
Well, not exactly, because the concert was hosted by Trump.
Oh. We mean physically hosted by him?
I believe so.
No. It's no way. I don't think Trump was there at all.
Hold on.
I don't think he was there. But don't get it wrong. I'm not trying. I might sound like I'm trying to sugarcoat it. I'm sure that this event had to do with the whole Trump regime and his whole team. I'm very sure it has something to do with it.
Yeah. Snoop performed at the Crypto Ball, which was, okay, I see what happened. So it was hosted by the new White House AI crypto czar, David Sachs. It was not an official inauguration event, nor was it attended by Trump.
See?
But I guess it was put together by the person who Trump put in office. So therefore, it's officially connected to Trump.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an
So whether Trump being there or not, I see where the gray area is, but still it's connected to Trump.
I'm saying, but without him saying what he said in 2017, what is wrong with him performing for that?
No, listen.
Nothing.
Listen, I was working on an interview with Trump. We almost got it. It was in the process. Kamala Harris, we didn't get very far with it. But Trump, his people really wanted the interview to happen. We got fairly far, but ultimately it never happened. So, look, I voted for Kamala, right? It is what it is. But still, I understand business is business.
Now, with Nelly, it's like, dog, Donald Trump is the president of the United States. The great United States, the free world, right? Probably top 5 greatest country in the world. Top 10, maybe, whatever. If a president or anybody from his camp calls you to come and do a performance, that's an honor.
I agree. I mean, that's what Nelly said. Nelly said, look, at the end of the day, this is the president for the next 4 years, and I respect the office. I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would never give Nelly a hard time over. I actually wouldn't even give Snoop a hard time.
Like I said, Snoop would be catching a hard time because of what he said 2017.
Exactly.
Without that, he would have nothing to worry about. Because of that, that's the only thing that's and it's probably eating him up because he said that. Do he regret probably saying that in 2017? It just tells you got to watch what you say, especially when you're becoming a face of, Snoop is a face.
Yeah.
He has power. And sometimes when you're powerful, you have to watch what you say because you don't want to come back and bite you in the ass.
Right. But you also have to keep in mind that as soon as Trump became president, he wiped out DEI. He wiped out affirmative action. He wiped out a lot of programs that have historically helped black people and women. That's all gone now. So the same people that supported him and voted for him, ultimately, like look at all the immigrants that voted for him, like Mexicans for Trump.
Well, I mean, time out. They're not going to be voting if they're illegal aliens. So
I read there's a story that I found out where this guy was a huge Trump supporter, and as soon as he was elected, his wife got deported.
I mean, all right, here's my thing with deportation and people living here illegally.
Yeah.
Okay, when I came to the States over 30 years ago, I mean, this is like, coming to America is probably easier trying to get to heaven. That's how hard it is. That's how hard it is to come to America for a black person or a foreign person or a brown person. 8 out of 10 people that go to the U.S. Embassy in African countries get turned down. Not unless you're some government official or you got a scholarship to go to school. Mm-hmm. America wants to know when you're coming, why you're coming, and when you're going to fuck back to your country.
Right. And I just want to say, it's not just America. Like, for example, my friend Napoleon from the Outlaws, he's been living in Saudi Arabia for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. He has businesses, he has restaurants and everything else like that. In our last interview, I said, you're a citizen, right? He goes, oh no, I'm not a citizen. I have a work permit. Yeah. But to be a citizen, you have to either be like a college professor or you have to have really deep government ties. Because he basically said Saudi Arabia is like a welfare country where they get a lot of benefits from just being in Saudi, a Saudi citizen. You get free college, free healthcare, whatever. So a lot of people want to come there just for that.
Saudi is one of the countries very hard. Most Arab countries, it's very difficult to get a citizenship for foreigners or people from outside. Because here it's a country of tribalism. The people who already been here, original people from this land. Saudi Arabia is a welfare country, meaning that people might want to get the citizenship just for different reasons. They give you free healthcare, free education, interest-free loans to buy a house. They help their people so much. So somebody might I just want to get this just to take advantage. So they're very selective of who they give it to.
So yeah, you go to other countries, you can't just become a citizen there either.
Well, I'm not talking about citizenship. I'm talking about just permission to come to the United States.
And stay.
Just to visit.
All right, because you need a visa.
The visa.
Yeah.
To get a visa, they want to know why, when, and when you're going to fuck back.
Right.
Black people don't, if you want to go to Mexico from here, they ain't asking you all that.
Right.
You don't need a visa. So it's very hard to come here. So those who come here from wherever they, all the difficulties they had to go through to get a visa to come to this country, it's what made this country elite. Hard to get in,
right.
Yeah,
no, my family was given permission to come to this country. We all became citizens. I can't get deported, for everyone's going to try to get me deported after this interview. But I'm legal. I have a passport. I've got a social security card.
Did it come easy for you?
Well,
were you Russian? You were white.
Well, Russian Jews. So the Jewish community in America saw how Jews in Russia were being persecuted.
So you got asylum.
So they basically used their connections to try to get Jews out of Russia into America, and that we were part of that wave during the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you got asylum. But and that's what happened. One thing America's been known for is giving asylum.
Correct.
Even when the Civil War happened in Liberia or other countries, when you're here, they give you work permit.
Yeah. Or if, like, let's just say that they know that if you go back, you'll be tortured or put in prison or whatever, they might let you stay. Yeah.
All right. But like even just trying to get a visa to come here, like, like I said, if a single girl, 25-year-old, like, I'm just coming to America, like, why? To visit, most likely it's gonna be a no.
Yeah.
Now if you're 20, 30 years old, you have a wife, you have kids, they're there, you come here for maybe some kind of meeting, they know you have to go back because your wife and your family's there. America wants to know that you're leaving something behind. Whether it's billions of dollars or millions of dollars, or or you have a really great job, you have to show proof of money in the bank. They want to make sure you have a reason to go back to your country. So it's not easy to come here. So because of that, why should somebody just jump the fence and come over when everybody else works so hard to come here?
No, I agree. It's funny, you mentioned Elon Musk. I just interviewed his father. Yeah, Elon Musk's father.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the controversial part of the story is that Elon Musk's father ended up having 2 kids with his former stepdaughter, who he raised when she was 4 years old. And there's a 46-year age difference between those two. And when I asked him, he said, well, no rules in love or war.
All I say is show me the rules. I'd like to see the rules. Please show me the rules. I want to see the rules for love and war. And then if you show me, then I'll apologize. If you can't show me the rules, then don't talk to me. Show me the rules.
What country was this?
South Africa.
Okay, that's where he's from. That's why he's African.
Yeah, he's African.
Elon Musk is African. This whole time, this nigga's African.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That explains it all, huh?
Oh, gosh. But my opinion of Elon, he's got so much money. He's the
richest man in the world right now.
The richest man in the world. And he was probably a nerd, not cool, but now he got money, he's just trying to look cool. Everything he do, he's just trying to what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you.
And he's still kind of corny. With a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, here's what's interesting, because your last few interviews, you're talking about the school that you've been building in Ghana.
Yeah.
But recently, I read that Ghana robbed you for $1 million.
Yeah, actually $1.2 million.
$1.2 million?
Well, I mean, robbery, I was probably obsessed, so I probably made it a little bit more harsh than what it was. So when I built this school, I've been going home for the past, since when I went back home for the first time. For the past 20 years, I've been going home. I'll go home, and one thing I noticed a lot of the kids in the cities or even in the villages, they're all hanging around doing school hours. And I never understood that because, from the time I came to America, the kids had to go to school because school's free. And I never understood why kids were roaming around doing school hours. And I found out why. They couldn't afford school. And there are some public schools which is called government schools. Mm-hmm. But even with those, you still have to buy uniform. You have to buy books. You have to buy this and that. And those schools fills up pretty fast with 40, 50 kids in the class, and no more can go in. If you don't get in time, then you ass out. So a lot of kids were out there with no education, and I never understood that. So I'm like, damn, man, I felt so bad. I'm like, when I would get some money, I'm gonna do something about it, And then I eventually, I got blessed enough. Took $500,000, built this beautiful campus. Beautiful school, with a house next to it in case I decided to go visit. I could just chill there. Built this nice thing in a village, And I was like, let me get these kids a free education. A lot of times things sound like a great idea. After a couple of years, I'm like, oh, this shit getting expensive. Because it's not like, this is not like,
it's not self-sufficient where it just makes money to support
There's no
itself.
money.
Yeah.
So meaning if I'm taking on this responsibility,
money into it,
I have to keep doing this every time, like out of my pocket to the life of I can't just have the kids in 1 year, I'm like, sorry guys, I can't afford this anymore. You know, y'all go figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, even Oprah had problems with her school in Africa.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay. So I said to myself, how can I sustain this for its lifetime? You know, and at that time, one thing about Ghana and a lot of African countries, you know, a lot of people don't have money. So if you have money, you can make money, you know, whether it's through the banks and other things, you know, you make money through the bank, you know. And I know like in the States, like I have a few, I'm not a big gambler, you know, I'm not big on stocks. I don't like shit going up and down. You know that's how you could get rich. You also get broke that way.
I'm big on stocks, let me tell you.
Oh, so yeah, you
Yeah.
you doing well? with
Most of my
stocks?
fortune is from stocks, yeah.
For real? Okay.
Yeah, easy.
You know, and like me, I always been scared. You know, even my financial advisors here, you know, I have about like 25% of my money in stocks, and it drives me crazy. Because they say don't look at it. I look at my shit every day.
Yeah, me too.
I look at it every day. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I'll be honest with you, I don't trust those financial advisors. I don't. I mean,
I'll hang out with you afterwards. We'll have
We'll
a
talk
long
about
talk.
that. All right.
I'll put you up on game, and I'll show you the books that I read and how you do it all yourself.
got you. And I'll tell you, I'll be open with what I do.
Yeah.
But back to my school. So I said to myself, how can I sustain this for life? So at that time, you know, they had Euro bonds, right? So Euro bonds, pretty much, the money would stay in the currency that you put it in. Whether it's euro, dollars, pounds, whatever you put it in, it would be in that currency, right? And the Euro bonds was paying, if I'm not mistaken, at least 9% interest rate, which is unheard of. You know, because I have bonds here in the States, and they're like 4.5, 5%.
4.5%.
You know, I'm like, oh, this is almost twice the amount. So I did my calculation on the school. I said, okay, this school's costing me about $9,000 to $10,000 a month, which is not bad at all to run a whole school.
Still a lot of money, though.
Still a lot of money.
Yeah, over $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, 9 to 10.
After taxes and all that stuff. Yeah, I get it.
I said, every month this school's cost me $9,000 to $10,000 a month. How much would I need to put in bonds so that way I'm having this money come in? And I said, okay, $1 million. In fact, I ended up doing $1.2 million because when I wired the money, I thought I only wired $750,000, but I already had wired $1 million, and I remember doing another $250,000 more. Because what I did like because these bonds pays every 6 months, so I made like 5 different ones, so that way they pay different times. That way I always make sure money was there, you know. So I'm like, okay, so I end up sending 1.2 instead of $1 million. And my financial advisors, when I was sending this money, they said, Mike, you sure you want to do this? When you're wiring money overseas, they always want to make, it's certain countries that they have a list of where terrorist countries, where they will not advise you to send money or they won't allow you to. Regardless if it's your money, there's certain countries on the list where you cannot send money to because it's on a terrorist. They will make sure you're not supporting terrorism. Mm-hmm. Ghana, on the other hand, is probably one of the most peaceful places you could be. Ghana has never had no civil war. Ghanaians are very peaceful. We are loving people. We are, what's the worst crime that happened to you in Ghana? Somebody snatch your phone? There's no crime in Ghana. Ghana is probably in the top 3 safest countries in the world. If you Google it, I'm very sure, I've never Googled that, but I'm sure if you Google Ghana, it's in the top 3 safest country on earth. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're doing bonds, bonds, of course, are government related, so I did my research and there's never had an issue with bonds. And even in the world, bonds don't go bad unless it's a civil war. Right. Something bad gotta happen. And Ghana's never had no smoke, no issue. So I built a school. I said, okay, let me send this money. It's gonna bring me, $10,000 a month. School be paid for. I invested $1.2 million in my country. And I'm like, okay, this is the land where I came from. This place made me who I am. What's wrong with giving them, if you add the school money, almost $2 million because I built the school. I said, what's wrong with me giving back to where I came from? Mm-hmm. It's only right.
Right.
If I was an African, I would not be who I am today.
Right. But the investment funds were actually seized by Ghana.
But it wasn't seized. So Well, it felt like it was C's fault. So this is what happened. So we put the money up. I probably it made one payment. The payment stopped. And, and this is right around COVID time. Right around COVID. Payment stopped. We don't know what's going on. And mind you, I also had some treasury bills, but the treasury bills were in Ghana money. Now, those are a little different. Anything in the Ghana currency was fine, was safe, because they could just print some fucking money,
Yeah.
The reason why I didn't choose to do that amount of money in the Ghana currency was because their money goes up and down.
Right. The euro is much more stable.
The euro is, the dollar.
Similar to the dollar.
Exactly.
Right.
They're stable. So, in fact, when I did the euro bonds, a dollar was 6 cedis. Cedis is the name of Ghana's money. Mm-hmm. A dollar was 6 cedis. Right now, a dollar is 15 cedis. So even the treasury that I opened up that it matured 3 years later, I lost. Mm-hmm. So because of that, a lot of people were enticed by this euro bonds because your money stays in the dollar currency. They stopped making payments, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? I spoke to the lady at the bank. She said, they're just having a little issue. The government, they're in debt. They borrowed money from China, COVID, bunch of excuses, which is excuses to me.
They use your money to pay back their Chinese debt.
Yeah, they use my money to pay China.
That's crazy.
Crazy, unheard of.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I have a bigger voice, but it's probably hundreds of thousands of other people that invested their money.
Yeah.
And then, so I said, okay. But then I was, I spoke to one guy that worked for that particular regime. And I apologize for blaming my problem on Ghana. Ghana is not the problem. It's usually it's people that are in office are the problem. So the particular Ministry of Finance from the NPP regime. We have Democrat here and Republican. Here in Ghana, they have the big ones are NPP and NDC. Mm-hmm. So at that particular time, NPP was in office. So they are the one to be blamed for it, not Ghana. Ghana is a great country with great people. I apologize to my Ghana for what I said, but I'm blaming on the NPP and the Ministry of Finance and whoever, or that regime. They decided to use our money to pay whatever debt it is, and then what it said to us? It said, thank you for helping us save the country. Involuntarily, motherfucker. I didn't volunteer my money for this shit. So we didn't have nothing for now. It's going on 2 years, no payment. So now how am I gonna go find new money to pay for the school? And I'm funding out of my pocket. Now my money is on hold, and so I spoke to the bank lady. She said, Mike, they're gonna figure this out. Just a little issue, but everything should be okay. I said, okay, cool.
2 years later.
2 years later, then I hit up one of my guys that worked for that regime. I said, yo, man, what's up with your government? He's like, Mike, I'll get you your money back, but I'm gonna need 10%. Right? And trust me, I wish I would have did that. Because a lot of times those guys have the power to do that.
Because you still haven't gotten your money back.
No,
Still don't have it back.
I don't have it back. So I wish I would have did that. But I spoke to the lady at the bank manager. I said, listen, I got a guy that works, he said you get my money back, but he wants 10%. He said, Mike, if you don't need this money right away, don't lose $100,000 or $120,000. Just wait. They're going to figure this out very soon. I said, okay. I took her word for it. I said, all right, man. I said, forget it, Then I spoke to a bigger guy. This guy is like cousins to the president. He's like the right-hand man. This guy probably make decisions in Ghana. I'm definitely not mentioning his name, right? I was like, what the fuck is up with your government? What's up with this money? He said, Mike, everything's going to be okay. We about to figure it all out. He said, if all else fail, at worst, whatever date each one puts to mature, you get your money back plus the interest. Which I didn't mind because those are all 3-4 year bonds. If I know for a fact, and in fact, one of them was about to mature this year, and then other one's probably a year later. I didn't mind waiting a year or two to get all my money back with interest. He said, when it matures, at worst, you'll get your money back with interest. When he told me that and I knew he ran shit, I felt comfortable. I said, okay, I'm good. 2 months prior to the election, they finally made a decision on the Euro bonds. They gave us 2 options. Either take one or they'll pick one for you, right? The first option is your 3-4 year bond is now 11-year bond,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
And whatever amount of money you gave them, you're gonna lose 37% of it.
Should have gone for the 10%.
I should have gone for the 10%.
Yeah.
Right? You lose 37% of it. Now, if you give them $1 million, you lost almost $400,000. Now you only, and now your 9% interest rate that you had is now 5%. Those are the option one. Option two, you don't lose none of your money you give them. You keep your whole amount of money. But now instead of your 3-4 year plan is now 15 years before you get your money back, right? Instead of you getting your 9% interest rate, it's 1.5%. So pick which one you want.
Yeah. They're basically robbing you.
Robbing you.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I went on Twitter and I lit them motherfuckers up. You know, and I became a hero because I had a voice. A lot of time people are afraid to speak. You know, and my thing, if I was just some businessman just trying to make money and I took a L, you know, it wouldn't bother as much. But I mean, this money was to pay for a free school, and I'm doing the government's job. I'm building a free education, using my money to fund this out of my pocket with no help. And this is what you do? I went in hard. I went in what I did probably helped them lose because that regime lost.
Right. But
You
you
know?
still don't have your money back, so.
Still don't have my money back. But the reason why I didn't take the cut, because as long as that money is there, I could always fight for it. I haven't given up. You know, I'm going to talk, but Africa's a little different. I'm sure I could talk to the new leader and explain why I did this, and I'm almost certain that things could change. And the thing about the money, I didn't even care about getting the money back. I just wanted the interest. I just want to get paid every month so I could pay for the school.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you just have to take your losses so you can get back the money. Because I remember I had a business relationship since the start of VladTV with Complex, right? All the YouTube money that I would get would go through Complex. They would get premium ads, so they would add to it, and then I would get, you know, my money plus another percentage of the premium ads. This has been going on for whatever, 15 years. And then at one point, Complex merged with BuzzFeed and Huffington Post, and they went public, and then the stock tanked. And they stopped paying me my money.
Wow.
This is my YouTube money. They just take a cut. So they owed me like 1.2 million.
Wow.
And they weren't paying me month after month. And then at the very end, we had to file a lawsuit, and they finally said, okay, we'll pay you the full amount minus 50,000. And I said, all right, I'll take it. And I took it. Now I'm a little salty about the 50,000, but at least I got almost the 1.2 million. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, yes, I don't like losing 50,000. Who does? But at least I got almost all my money. I got whatever, 98% of my money.
Mine's is kidnapped right now.
Yeah.
My money's
so
kidnapped.
sometimes 10% may sound bad at the moment, but at least you get most of it back.
No. I mean, I didn't think it was gonna come down to this. I didn't think that they would, you know, and I feel so bad because sometimes it gave my continent a bad name. Like this, it make it seem like every government up there is corrupt and bad. There's just a few that are, you know what I'm saying? You can't blame the whole continent. Everybody's not corrupt, but they made me look so stupid because, you know, when I was in Merrill Lynch office or JP Morgan's, whichever one I sent the money through, and they're like, Mike, you sure you want to send this to, and there's a third world country.
Your own financial advisor told you not to do it.
They told me not to say, yeah. He said, you know, I don't want to advise that, but, you know, if that's what you want to do, it's your money.
Well, speaking of Africa, before we get off the subject, I want to give a shout out to Ibang Ngonga, who was a senior official in Equatorial Guinea, who was arrested for e-banging 400 different women, including the wife of politicians, the sister of the president, and actually filming it in his office. So he basically had 400 sex tapes.
And Diddy's locked up.
And he got arrested for it.
And y'all got Diddy and Diddy going to jail. Look, this is the real guy right here. This is an African Diddy right
This
there.
is the real African Diddy right here.
Man, I read about it.
You know about this, right?
I know about it.
This was crazy.
Yeah. It's so unheard of, you know. I don't even know what to say. I mean, what did they arrest him for? It wasn't for that, not for sex.
Let's see.
You can't go to jail for having sex if it's consent.
Yeah, I mean, because these tapes were leaked online. Yes. The report read, the most striking thing is that some scenes took place in his work office, including moments in which he is seen sleeping with a woman next to the national flag.
Flag of the Himalayas.
Let me see. I'm not quite sure what he was arrested for.
It was probably
But he was arrested.
He was bad. It definitely wasn't for
Oh,
sex.
the government claimed the decision for the arrest was part of a zero-tolerance policy towards behavior that compromised the integrity of the public service.
So you end up going, was that the initial reason why there was?
It's a vagrant violation of the code of conduct and the public ethics law.
Was it prior to them finding the tape?
No, they found the tapes and they arrested him.
For the tapes?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Man, is that a new law they made up?
I don't know. The fact that you're e-banging the president's sister with the flag in the background in your public office, I think is fairly crazy.
He's the real gangster there, man. God. 400 women? Is that how many
Well,
women?
it was 400 videos. So it was probably less women. You know, there's probably multiple videos of every woman. But the fact that these women were, I mean, I don't know if it was this guy right here.
Oh, yeah. It looks so innocent.
It looks so innocent. Yeah, it was like wives of notable people and stuff like that. Hey, man, listen, I don't know what he was doing in that bedroom, but clearly word got around that you need to get e-banged by e-bang.
But, I mean, that's the thing about it, man. And, you know, women are just as curious and it just could be hoish as men could be. Because they probably heard this guy has a big dick or something and he was a good in bed. And they went into, I'm guarantee you, most of those women was word of mouth.
What was it? The videos reportedly included encounters with high-profile individuals, such as his brother's wife, his cousin, the sister of the president, the director general of police's wife, and about 20 of the country's ministers' wives.
Why are you going after people's wives? My God. That's risky, man. That's scary.
Yeah, well, he's in jail now, so, you know, it is what it is.
But I wonder what happened to those wives now. Now those tapes are out. Like, are they...
Oh, yeah. I'm sure dinner was pretty awkward that night.
Did any of them get pregnant, did it say?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. Unless he had a, vasectomy.
Yeah, he's a real, I'm sure he's somebody's hero. He's your hero, right? He's not your hero?
No, that's not really my thing. Banging wives, nah. Not really my thing.
100% banging.
Yeah, not really my thing.
My thing, there's so many single women out there. There's no need of you banging no woman that belongs to somebody. Because now you're putting your life in jeopardy because, if it be the wrong person, you knowing that there's their wife and you bang them, oh yeah, they got every right to like go nuts on you and act like they lost their mind.
Yeah.
So I'm not banging nobody's woman. There's too many single women out there.
Well, remember, there was that whole situation with you and Delicious back in the day.
But then nothing happened. They were just friends.
Right, but there was a whole drama situation, right?
Yeah.
Or her was it her boyfriend?
Yeah,
or
me
something?
and this girl, and I was so mad because I'm like, I would have felt bad. I would have felt like I deserved it if I was ever fucking her. Like, we never did nothing. We were just cool. She like, I flew to Detroit to do a show. She's standing, hey, Mike, come in. You don't need to get a hotel. We're a family. We're friends. Stay in my house. And I had a bad feeling about that because I never, and for some reason I did it and it was bad. It was terrible and I'm being a disaster. But if I was banging her, then I'd be like, I deserved it. But like, I never even fucked this woman.
Yeah.
Ever.
A lot of drama though around.
Yeah, a lot of drama. So just stay away from people's women. Whether they're divorced, separated. Yeah. I don't believe, since then, I don't sleep. Oprah could be like, here, Mike, spend the night. I'm like, no, bitch.
Right.
I'm scared, Stepman Mike. I don't care, y'all pop up in here and shoot me.
Stedman might murder you. Oh my God, if Stedman walked in and you were doggy styling Oprah and he had a pistol on him.
Oh my God. Since then.
All three of you would be dead. First you, her, then himself.
And the dog. Everybody's going
and the dog.
down. I'm telling you, since then, I refuse to spend the night with
Gail might get it too if she's around.
Woman. I tell my friends all the time, listen, whatever you do, don't spend the night at no woman's house. Ever. I don't give a fuck what to tell. I'm single. This it. No.
Did I ever tell you my story about spending the night at a woman's house? I've told the story a bunch of times, so my viewers are going to roll their eyes right now. But I had met a girl in LA We hit it off. Our second date, I spent the night. In the middle of the night, she wakes me up at 3 a.m. and said, I think somebody's at my window. I'm not realizing that behind this window is a balcony. I go to the window, I'm butt naked. I pull back the curtain, and there's a guy staring at me on the balcony, and the window's open.
With your dick out.
With my dick out, yeah. He punches me in the face and jumps in through the window and attacks me as she runs out the door and leaves me to die.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
To me. Go ahead.
So anyways, the scuffle took place, and it got so bad that I thought I'd killed him. Yeah, I thought he was dead.
From fighting, just a physical fight?
It got really bad. I thought I'd killed him.
For real?
Yeah. So I took the sheet off the bed. I was naked the whole time. I took the sheet off the bed. The bed sheet is covered in blood and everything else like that. I go outside. The police arrive. She ran next door to call the police. The police arrive. And I say, I walk over to the police. I say, listen, I was attacked, middle of the night. He jumped into the window. I defended myself. I don't exactly remember what happened. I didn't want to go into too many details.
Wow.
They go inside. They find him. He's still alive. He's still breathing. So, they were basically, okay, self-defense. Her story matches up with my story. It was self-defense. And ultimately, he survived. And I didn't go to court. Me and him spoke before the trial. I told him, me and you are even. I'm not going to go to court. I already told the DA. So he was facing a bunch of years. So he ended up getting probation. And that was the end of that. But yeah,
Since then, have you been a woman?
I've never done that again. Yeah, no, that was
Since
it.
then, I had girls like, my God, I'm like, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
As a man, you have to
Just get a hotel.
Get a hotel.
Or bring her to your house.
Bring your house. Be your comfort of your home. You are the man.
Yeah, but the
Don't be
hotel is
somebody
even
else's
better in the
territory.
beginning.
Hotel
Yeah.
is cool.
Until you get to know. If it's a month or two, and okay, I get it. Yeah.
But even like, girls coming to our place is a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A girl coming to our place and scared our ex-girlfriend might pop up is a lot different than a man.
And that was her ex-boyfriend. Yeah.
Never, guys. If you're watching, I'm not sure what camera, don't ever go over a woman's house. Ever.
Yeah.
I don't care what she tells you. If you're homeless, fuck the bitch outside.
Or by the trash can.
Yes.
Get a tent. Get a fucking tent.
Man, worst nightmare. It's happened twice. Well, not that. I mean, that was the camel that broke the camel's back. Whatever the fucking phrase is.
straw that
Prior
broke
to
the
that,
camel's
I had that incident. And it was like, during my broke time where I knew a girl in Atlanta. We talking about like early 2000. I knew a girl in Atlanta, and I want to go do a show there. Of course, I want to save myself $100 a night. I still spending over our house. And I remember, in fact, her brother was there. She had a little brother. I remember him being around. And then the crazy ex decides to come in. Luckily for me, I was like 40. This one I fucked. Delicious, I never fucked her. I almost lost my life over some pussy I never got. But this girl actually slept with her, but luckily I was dressed, and he came in and like, I think the brother tried to like talk to him at the door or whatever for some time. And I don't even know how that shit ended, but I was just glad I got out of that alive with no problem. And I found out later on that guy later on got killed anyway. Like somebody ended up murdering him. These crazy guys out here, man. Listen, you break up with your girl, somebody else gonna fuck her.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And just period.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Accept it.
You leave, accept it. Somebody else probably with a bigger dick than yours gonna tear her ass up. So just don't leave her if you got an issue. Stay with her, because somebody else gonna fuck her with a bigger dick. No Diddy. Okay.
Well, Lavelle Crawford did Club Shay Shay, and he said you hadn't written a new joke since 1973. Now, I looked it up. You were born in 1972. So at 1 year old,
well,
you come up with your whole comedy routine, and you've been sticking to it.
Even the age online is not even my right age. My life is.
What year were you born?
I'm African. We don't know when we were born. I know for a fact that's not the right age. But the paperwork I came here with, it says I'm 3 or 4 years younger.
Okay.
So that is completely wrong, all right? Here's the thing with most Africans born in the 70s or 80s, okay? Most of us in Africa, hospital is probably, America, you go and give birth to a baby, you get shot, go to the hospital, emergency, whatever, they'll send you a bill later. Africa, there's no bill later. If you go to the hospital, you don't have money, you're gonna die. Just that simple. Either if you don't got no money, go home, or they're gonna send you home. You're gonna die.
Right there in the lobby.
You having a heart attack? You have the money? No, you're gonna die.
I'm sorry, sir, your credit card was declined.
You're dead.
Unplug that thing that...
Unplug him. You don't have the money. You don't have the money. Unplug him now. But my mom's bringing the money. Well, tell your mother to hurry up. Because you about to die. You know, because of that, most poor people, we don't go to the hospital. I remember when I was a kid playing soccer in Liberia, I was probably like 10 years old, and I fell and broke my arm. Couldn't afford a hospital. Somebody took me to a juju doctor. Dead serious. I went to a fucking juju doctor. You know, and she fucked my shit up even more. Like, I remember one time I was playing and I was playing around some old cars, and the fucking rust just cut my thing. I still got the scar there. I couldn't go to the hospital and get the stitches. I had to deal with it. Because of that, most of us are not born in a hospital.
Yeah.
I was born at home in the backyard.
Real quick, before you go on, this kind of reminds me of when I interviewed Errol Musk, which was Elon Musk's father. Mm-hmm. He told me about a situation where 5 black men were trying to break into his house, and it was just him and his daughter. And he pulled out a gun and he killed 3 of them, right? And he said what he was most scared of was in South Africa, they have something called muti. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
So muti is like, like voodoo, where they basically cut up people and use them for medicine.
Okay.
So he was scared that they were going to eat his daughter.
They were coming down the passage. I stood at the entrance, the main bedroom entrance to the passage, and I took the one in front out, with a bullet through the head, and that bullet actually went into the one behind him as well. So I wasn't proud of it, but what could I do? It was me or them, my daughter's head would be hanging from a taxi at this moment, dangling from a taxi if I'd let them get their way. My 6-year-old daughter's head would be dangling from a taxi. So, mirror, No. So, because they eat them and they use the children as medicine, What do you call it? Medicine.
Wait. They actually eat children and use their body parts as medicine?
Yes, they take the body parts and then we know this. I mean, it's not me. I mean, I won't say everybody, maybe things are improving, but it's called muti, M-U-T-I. Then they make muti out of the people's bodies, and then they believe that if you have this muti thing, you'll have good luck and all that sort of stuff. It's not new. I think it's been in human existence among groups of people for a long time.
I mean, that's possible. Voodoo do exist.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so people are murdered for their body parts that are used in muti. So they harvest the body parts, including, brains and everything else like that. So he said he was mostly
that's what
scared.
He's worried about. That's what
that his daughter was going to get eaten by these guys.
Yeah, I don't know human eaters much, but voodoo does exist in Africa.
Right. So a juju doctor, isn't that a witch doctor pretty much?
Witch doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a witch doctor.
So he
now,
sprinkle some herbs on you and some smoke and yeah.
Well, there's some. Well, no. Well, a lot of time they have like certain things like if you broke your arm, they'll rub some stuff on your arm and like try to put it back in place. It was a very painful situation, And the thing with voodoo, okay, if you can't just go to a voodoo doctor or some juju person and be like, hey, kill this guy. It doesn't work that way. All right? They don't
do voodoo dolls? They don't do like voodoo dolls?
I don't know what to do. I've never been in voodoo's house. I have no idea. But I know for a fact that you can't just go and tell them to just destroy anybody. A lot of times voodoo only works on somebody that's really affected you somehow, some way.
By the way, I just read a tweet that said Kanye treats his girlfriend like a Kim K voodoo doll. That is kind of true, though, isn't it? It's like a Kim K voodoo doll. Dresses her up and parades her around and strips her,
Man, a lot of times voodoo, if you'll go to the voodoo doctor, he'll tell you, I'm sorry, I can't help you. This guy You don't even know this guy. You can't just be like, you can't be hating on somebody like, can you kill Dave Chappelle? You're making more money than me. It doesn't work that way.
Does it work that way?
No, it has to be like
okay.
somebody, a lot of time it help with like people related to you. And you have to prove, it has to be some kind of real proof that they did something to affect you. Something,
Got it.
That's how voodoo works. Voodoo is just not you can't just put something on somebody. It's not gonna work. I mean, you could poison people.
Well, does any of it really work though?
Does it work? Oh yeah.
You think voodoo really works?
Yes.
You really believe that?
Yes.
You've seen it work?
I've heard.
Okay. So you've never actually seen it?
Yeah, I've never been, I've never been affected by it or, but I've heard it. People put voodoo on people all the time. But like I say, it has to be somebody close to you that's done something to you for it to work.
Okay, got it.
If somebody if you're in a marketplace, somebody come and steal from you, they've done something to you, so it might work because that person did affect you some way, somehow.
Okay.
So what were we talking about? My date of birth, right? Yeah. So my mother had me, I was born at home. Nobody was there to write shit down. Most people you born, you see a doctor. I was born, I saw a goat, motherfucker. And because of that, most of us, we don't know our age, our date of birth till we about to travel. Now you about to travel. Oh my God, what am I gonna write on this paperwork? Oh my God, how old is your brother? Okay, I don't know. I was born a year before him, and 2 years. Just write this down. So the age thing, and the reason why I knew that age is completely off and completely wrong is because I was born for a fact, I know I was born on a Monday. Because, where I'm from, my people, they'll name you, if you're a Ghanaian descent, they name you by the day of the week you was born. So if you're born on Monday, you're a Kojo. You're born on Saturday, you're a Kwame, you're a Kofi for Friday, so forth.
Okay. Oh.
So for a fact, I know I was born on a Monday. Now, what I did, I Google up that date that's online, or whatever date, even the date that I have in my paperwork.
Yeah.
And none was on a Monday.
That's
how I knew that, you know what,
okay.
fuck it. I'm between it. They said, how old are you, Mike? I said, I'm between 35 and 70, motherfucker. It depends who I'm dating, and that's how I go about the age.
Okay. You were not born in 1972.
100% I believe.
Right. But according to Lavelle Crawford, you haven't written a new joke since 1973.
Okay, that was 1 year old. Yeah.
Right, you're 1 year old. And you actually had a problem with that because you feel that a comment like that messes up your career because people, may not end up going to your shows because they don't want to hear the same jokes over and over again. And I'm not going to say who, but I've interviewed comedians where I've seen them like 20 years ago and I see a newer set and it's almost the same set. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to mess them up in the same way that you're talking about it. But some comedians do this.
All right, so, and I'm so glad we came to this joke stuff, Well, first of all, Lavelle just trying to be funny. Lavelle wanted to mention Michael Blackson's name because Michael Blackson would go online and mention his name too. Lavelle, for him to be so successful as a comic, he's not satisfied with where he is in his career. He probably thinks he should have been bigger. He probably go and see I got like almost 6 million followers. He probably don't have 1 million. But you don't understand. Getting followers online that has nothing to do with how talented you are.
Okay. He has 354,000 followers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with your talent. It has to do with, it's a whole different thing online. It's a way to entertain online. It's a way to grow followers online. I learned that from the beginning of social media. It is how you post and what you post, how you draw people in, funny things you do to make people follow you. He don't know that. He don't know that at all. He wants some followers, so he make a joke on Michael Blackson. Michael Blackson might mention Lavelle Crawford. They'll Google Lavelle Crawford. He'll get a couple of followers, whatever. Because I think Lavelle is like very funny guy, very talented. Was he trying to ride the Cat Williams wave and try to start some shit? Probably. Who knows?
Yeah. Look, I've interviewed Lavelle, and I thought it was a good interview. It was a little edgy. I think we talked about like his father being gay and some stuff like
I
that.
didn't know he had a gay father.
Yeah, he had a gay father. And
was he gay before he was born, or he became gay afterwards?
I don't know. That's a good question. Hold on, let me make sure this is right before I just hold on. Let me make sure because the interview was a long time ago. Yeah, his dad was gay. Yeah.
Oh wow!
I remember that. One of the titles was Lavelle Crawford on being scared of the gay mafia and his dad being gay. So, he was like mad at me over this interview. So he never did another interview with us.
But he gave you the information.
Yeah. But this happens sometimes. People do an interview, then they get mad.
When it comes out.
When it comes out.
And got backlash.
And somehow there's some backlash. I think he had to apologize or something. But this is not my fault. I didn't put the words in your mouth. Now, do I steer the conversation certain ways? But it's up to you to answer it the way you want to answer it. But one out of maybe 30 interviews, the person ends up mad at me afterwards over whatever reason. Right.
Maybe it's the way you maybe it's your clickbait, maybe, you know what?
Well, but it's never, see, people say clickbait as if clickbait usually infers that the title has nothing to do with the actual video. Okay, right. That the title is deceiving. Okay. And you've been on my show how many times? Have there ever been a title that doesn't coincide with the video? Never. It's always accurate. Now, sometimes they don't want that part out there.
But why they said it?
Then why they say it? So, Lavelle, stop being so sensitive. You're a comedian. Okay? Seriously. Yeah. If you could trash people like Michael Blackson, you should be able to take a joke also. You should be able to take a little bit of public backlash over things that you've said and you stand behind it. So you're welcome to come back to the show if you want.
Come back, you shit emoji built motherfucker.
He has, his head, he has such a unique shaped head. Like, he has an actual egg head. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
It just kind of,
I'm just happy.
It's like the cone heads. Remember that skit on Saturday Night Live? The cone heads?
Oh, yeah, that's him.
He's like a real life cone head.
Yeah. And he should just be happy to be. I mean, with him being that weight and still surviving and doing his thing, he should be very, very happy.
Yeah, well, and of course he did Breaking Bad. Yeah. That was a big look.
For some reason, he still feels some type of way. Like, I'm like, dog, you're making millions of dollars, you good. Like, why you. But talking about jokes now, but that's a lie. I write jokes all the time. And I write my own thing. Now, here's the thing with writing. Guys that put out specials all the time, you put out special, that material gotta go in the trash. 100% gotta go away, Don't get it wrong, you go to a certain city, you have some diehard fans, which is probably about 10%. Let's say if I go to Houston, I'm gonna get 10% of the same people because they just love Michael Blackson. Mm-hmm. So those, you kind of like, because 10% is a lot. So if 10% of people are talking, like I saw him, he did most of the same shit. But, with comedy, real comics that write their own shit, it's not easy. Because, especially my jokes are, I think if you come to see a Michael Blackson show, you go see any comic for an hour, any comic, for an hour, you will laugh more at my show than you'll laugh at anybody else performing right now. I don't give a damn who you think they are. Nobody's gonna get as much laugh in that 1 hour that you get at a Michael Blackson show. And my jokes are my punchlines are very quick, So because of that, probably every year, if you saw me today and you go see me next year, you might get 15 minutes of new shit. And 15 minutes of Michael Blackson joke is a lot because that's probably about, because those 15 minutes could really be stretched out into 30 if I wanted to. But I don't have the patience. When I'm on stage, I like my crowd just nonstop laughter. And I'm a big believer in writing your own shit. Now, and recently, and I'm so glad, all this joke stealing stuff. And that's why I always suggest to comedians, write your own shit. There's the reason why. Writers are the biggest thieves. All right, people that you hire these writers to go write for you, most of the time those guys, you know what they do? They go sit in the comedy clubs, find a new guy that's telling a funny ass joke, steal it from that guy, and take it to the big boss. Mm-hmm. And the big boss says it. Who's gonna tell you that it came from that little guy? You're never gonna know.
Right.
And I recently experienced that personally recently. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna mention he or she. I have a person that opens up for me, very talented, a little edgy, but she's cool enough. And, out of nowhere, she's like, Mike, let me help you write some stuff. Let's, especially when all the thing came out with Katt, like, Mike, you're so talented and so loved. Let's change everything around. Let me help you change your whole act, and let's do the special. And I'm prove to you how good I am. I'm gonna send you some stuff, and you look at it, you know, let me know what you like, whatever. And then she sent me this joke, right? And I hate anything from anybody, you know, because I don't like I write Michael Black, because comedians are the biggest gossipers and talkers on earth. If you get anybody to write some shit for you, they're gonna be brag, oh, I wrote that for Mike. I write for Mike. And that's why, because of that, I don't like writers. If I'm ever gonna get a writer, I'm gonna get somebody that's don't do stand-up at all. I go find one of my homies that's just funny. I'm like, hey, I got this idea. What do you think about this? You know, make it funny, give you a check, and we keep it moving. You know, if I want some quick, like I used to do a lot of YouTube shows, and I had a guy that would write for the YouTube show. You know, I'd be like, okay, this week, we're gonna make fun of these people right here. Let me know what you got. I'll add what I had on, and then we'll have a show. You know? So this girl gave me this joke. Let me try to see if I could do the joke exactly. How this joke go? Oh my God. Okay. But the thing about it, when people write stuff anyway, you know, whatever she wrote, I'll look at it and I would make it into Michael Blackson. I would, you know, I might still keep a couple of words of stuff that's in there, but I have to make it my own. And that's what comedians do. When a writer writes you some shit, you take it and make it your own. Me, I just write my own shit and it's my own anyway. But this time I decided, okay, let me listen to this girl to see what she got to say, you know. And she wrote this joke. It was about, oh my God. Fuck, I can't think of the joke. I can't think of the joke right now, right? I can't put it the right way. But mind you, I just recently went on a 5-city tour with Cedric Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, Earthquake, Dion Cole, and myself. We did this tour right prior to New Year's. It was like a 5-city tour. We did D.C., Houston, Atlanta, St. Louis, Chicago, and then we end up in St. Louis, right? And one of the jokes this girl wrote was very similar to another comedian's joke that was on the tour. But mind you, but this is one of his old jokes. I never heard him say it, right? But I'm more going on stage and I performed this joke, you know what I mean? And they got good laughs. And it joke actually, and then I followed this guy on IG. So I was on IG and they're promoting a show that he's about to do at a Improv, maybe Kansas City, whatever. This guy's performing. D.L. Hughley is the guy. He's doing the joke, doing a show at Kansas City Improv, and they got a clip of him, an old clip of him. And the joke in there sounded almost exactly what this fucking girl gave me. I'm like, and mind you, that joke is old to him because he don't even do it no more. But it was new to me because I just did this fucking shit right in front of this guy. So he probably looked at me as some joke thief. You know what I mean?
D.L. Hughley was looking at you?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. Like, he didn't say nothing about it.
Yeah.
Because I probably made it my own. But the main idea of the joke was similar. Mm-hmm. But don't get right, I put my Michael Blackson touch on the joke and completely make it different. But still, the idea was so close. And I know ideas are okay, but no. It was just too close for me. And when I saw the joke on the video, I called the girl, I'm like, what the fuck? Where you get this from? I sent her the video. I said, this is where you got the idea from? She said, oh, no, I never. I'm like, it was too close. Like, you're making me look fucking stupid. You know? In fact, I messaged I didn't text him, I DM'd them. I said, give me a call. Because I want to talk to him about this, because I felt bad. Mm-hmm. Because that's one thing Mike don't do. He never called me back. He probably, he's a big anti-Trump guy, and I'm at the Nelly concert, so.
DL's actually a pretty good friend of mine.
He's a great guy. I love him.
If you want to talk to him directly, I can put you guys in contact.
No. I mean, I'm sure I have his number.
You know, I talk to him all the time.
So let's call him after we've done this.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
You know, and then I felt bad. So right away, when I realized that, I text him, I DM him like, give me a call. Because I'm like, he's probably watching me do this joke. He probably like, damn, he doesn't do it anymore. He probably like, damn, that sounds like something that I did, you know? And I'm like, I'm cursing out the girl for this shit you wrote that I'm very certain you got this idea from him. You know, whether he saw him do it or whatever it was just too close. I didn't like that, and it pissed me off. And because of that, I would never hire a writer. Because...
Do you want me to FaceTime DL right now?
You could.
Hold on. Let's see if I can get him on the phone. Hold on.
And I'm like, I would never, because of that, I'm like, you know what? I'm writing my own shit. So every year, my fans gonna take get 15 minutes of new shit. That's the whole joke thing, man. Till today, it still pisses me off because I'm a real comedian. Like I take this crap very serious. I don't like no idea close to nobody else's. My shit is different. I mean, I'm big on current events, and current event is always, real great comics all do current events. So we all got Diddy jokes. We all got Kanye joke. You know, I understand all of that. You know what I mean? But just certain things, it's just too close for me.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, I got Michael Blackson here.
DL.
What's up, homeboy?
All right, so listen, so I DM'd you a while, like maybe a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to talk to you about something. So, you know we did our 5-city tour, right? And I was doing I did this one joke. So mind you, about 6 months ago, this one girl that opens up for me, like, Mike, I got some ideas, I want to help you. You know, she wrote some stuff down. She said, Mike, she wrote some joke down and said, try this material, right?
Right.
And I did one of them while I was on tour. I'm not sure if you remember, right? I did one of them on tour, and then, so then, I follow you. So at one time you posted a video of you promoting a show. It's an old joke you did way back, probably 10 years ago. I'm not sure how long ago.
Right.
So it's a joke, and I'm watching the video, you promoting your show you're doing. And I'm like, oh my God, this shit sound like, I called right up. I'm like, what the fuck, do you steal this shit from DL? Like, where you get this shit from? And that's what I want to talk to you about. So it's an Ancestry.com joke. Did you remember me doing something like that while I was on tour?
Yeah, I did.
Did it come to you? Did you say it to yourself, like, this sound like mine?
So, man, here's what I'll tell you.
Okay.
Comedians die jokes, though. I don't even live there no more. That's like me being mad at somebody moving to a house I used to live in. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't care nothing about that.
For real?
You know how many people, I mean, I've been in the game so long, I've watched people do my whole act in front of me and act like I didn't know what happened. And I'm not talking about acting, I'm talking about acting. I shot 11 specials. And so, to me, I'm never one of them dudes that's gonna get offended because somebody did something I used to do.
Dog, no. That shit bothered me because the first time I ever heard anything close to that was when I saw your tape and I called her right away and cussed her out like, do you get this shit from DL? She's like, oh, no. I'm like, it's too close. Even though I put my...
No, I'm sorry.
You remember it? Man, my God, I was so pissed about it. That's why I wanted to call you and talk to you about it because, you know what I mean?
It didn't bother me one bit.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I'm going to tell you, man, like I say, comics die, jokes don't. So, have at it. I've literally seen people do my whole reset, my whole going home, my whole contrarian, but I don't do those jokes anymore. So
that shit.
But they're not. I don't own them. I can't. Make sure that protected speech is speech. So I've never gotten into that.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I heard the joke and I thought it was that joke, and it didn't.
Oh yeah, it bothered me though when I finally heard it from you because I never heard it before. When I saw your video, it bothered me a lot because Mike don't play that.
No.
Okay.
You're a young cat I like and respect, and I never had any idea of any malicious intent at all.
Okay.
I love and respect you. So
I appreciate you.
All right.
That
ass bitch now, her.
And don't forget, man, whatever it is, what do you need Trump to do for the black people? I'll take it to him.
Yeah. Well, you better be worried about, hey, nigga, you might leave too. Hang on a minute. If you see Mexicans running from a white van, get behind it. All right, my nigga.
Much love, baby. Man, that shit bothered me so much. I hit up my lady. I was like, because the thing about it, the girl, even though, I mean, this, of course, that whole thing right there definitely put a nail in the coffin. Like, okay, you're not writing nothing else. You know, obviously. Mm-hmm. And the thing about, I've seen big comics do small comics jokes, that good jokes. And I'm like, a lot of times it's not even the comic. It's these fucking writers, man. These lazy motherfuckers that want to sit home and think of the shit they want to go and steal ideas. And still very close ideas and take it to their boss, and then they look like a bunch of geniuses. And then later on, you know, they look stupid because now somebody like, hey, that's my joke. But I'm glad, you know, I mean, like I said, he probably don't use it anymore. And I did, don't get it wrong.
No, but he said that he noticed that you did it, but he just didn't care. And listen, I know DL, if it would have bothered him, he would have just said, yeah, it kind of bothered me.
But it bothered me because I'm a real comic.
Right. But you see how cool he was about it? Yeah.
Yeah, because he probably he probably don't even know. But for me, he probably thought great comics think alike. Maybe he's probably thinking that. But at the same time, probably that's kind of too close. But he don't know me as being a joke thief. I don't steal at all. You know what I mean? Everything I do is straight from Michael Blackson. And the one chance I get somebody to go do some work and they bring somebody else shit back to me.
It happens. It is what it is.
I'm doing my own shit from here on.
Yeah.
I'm writing my own jokes. Yo, you gonna write a joke for me, you gonna sit right in there, we're gonna write this shit together, motherfucker. You don't about to go out into the streets or go pull out somebody else's tapes or go into some comedy club. We're gonna sit in this room and we're gonna come up with some shit together.
Well, you said that Katt Williams' last 3 specials put you to sleep.
What's the last one called?
I don't remember, but I know what you mean. Katt Williams has ripped it before. You know, the whole Tink Tink, you know, like the story of Tink Tink and some of the skits. You know, the guy with the metal legs, you call him Tink Tink. Anyways, he's had some great skits.
Oh,
well, not skits, no, he's had some great specials.
Of course.
Yes, he's had some classic specials.
Oh, and I got the HBO special with the green outfit on.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, he's had some great specials. And you're right. The last few that I saw, I can't even remember any of the jokes.
Nothing at all. They're bad. The last few, he's just grabbing a check. You know, did he lose an edge? Did he lose something? I mean, is it possible? It's very possible.
Well, maybe it's also, it takes a long time. You know, listen, I'm not a comedian, but I interview a lot of comedians and I'm friends with a lot of comedians. I think it takes a long time to come up with a really classic stand-up.
Yes.
You know, and oftentimes, like, I remember I interviewed Earthquake or I interviewed Lunel and I talked about their Netflix specials that Dave Chappelle executive produced. And the first question was, why are they so short? And they're like, well, a lot of stuff gets tossed out to just leave the best part. You know what I'm saying?
I think they were purposely 30-minute specials. I think those were.
Were they?
Yeah. Yeah, because...
No. They both told me that they were actually longer, but a lot of stuff got cut out in the process. So...
I thought it was intentionally 30 minutes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, that's not what Lunel told me, but you know, who knows behind the scenes what happens. But, you know, look, like, it takes a while to really have a home run special, to have a Delirious or a Raw or a Killing Me Softly or The Closer. You know, and this is why people like Dave don't let you pull out your cell phone. And I've been to his shows. Like, you cannot pull out a cell phone. You will get kicked out. But if you have to, you know, if you're getting offers, you got to knock them out every year, every 9 months. I can see why it ends up not being epic. And I think that's what Katt Williams is going through. And I think Katt is dope. And I understand, you know, you guys have had some issues in the past, but
that still don't take away his dopeness.
No, or his genius.
You know what I mean? He's
overall.
a dope person, and but his special's just been terrible. The last 3 have been bad. I'd rather put nothing out than put out some bullshit. And sometimes, you know, you go for a money grab and then you look very stupid. You know, and his last few specials have been terrible. I don't know what it is. He probably get better writers. But the thing about maybe he's taking it too serious. It's not like that much fun, maybe. I don't know what it is. You know, but...
What percentage of comedians use writers? Stand-up comedians?
Well, I mean, probably all those that put out, I mean, as far as the big ones, probably all of them.
So Dave Chappelle uses a writer?
100%, I'm sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, I know, uses writers.
Yes.
Well, for example, Dion Cole, I don't think uses writers. But he's a writer himself.
He's a writer.
He's a writer
himself. Yeah.
He wrote for Diddy. You know that?
He what?
He wrote for Diddy.
He wrote for Diddy?
Yeah.
When did he do something?
Diddy hosted like the American Music Awards.
Oh, okay.
And he needed a writer.
Okay.
Dave Chappelle actually got the offer first, and Dave said, "No, I don't want to do it. Dion, do you want to do it?" So Dion ended up doing it. And he had to he basically almost lived with Diddy for a month or something.
Yeah. I've got some writing offers. I remember one time when Erykah Badu hosted the Courtroom Award. I was one of the writers.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've been hired
for Erykah Badu?
Before. For Erykah Badu.
You wrote jokes for Erykah Badu?
Wrote jokes for Erykah Badu.
What was an Erykah Badu joke that you wrote?
I don't fucking remember. I don't remember.
I can't imagine.
When you're writing a team, it's like I was part of the team.
Oh, okay, I
so
got
you know, a bunch of guys in the room, and we just putting ideas together. You know.
Well, you said, I think you were doing Art of Dialogue, and you know, Art asked you who you feel is an overrated stand-up comedian, and you said Jerry Seinfeld.
I did?
You did.
Who's
Yes.
Art?
Well, Art of Dialogue, the guy who owns Art of Dialogue, his name's Art. You said Jerry Seinfeld. You said you loved his sitcom,
okay, but his stand-up.
but his stand-up
Oh,
you
okay.
thought was not very
Average.
good.
Okay.
I actually disagree. I thought that he had great stand-ups.
You know, maybe it's his style. Like maybe his style is not my thing. You know, just like every comic have a comic that they will go watch. You know, whether it's because they're sillier or they're this or they're controversial. You know, like I like George Carlin. I like Mike Epps. You know, two different type of people. Mike is silly. George is like, you know,
Smart.
and funny.
Yeah.
You know, so people are different.
I've seen multiple stand-ups by Jerry Seinfeld, and I thought they were all good.
Okay. Yeah, maybe, you know what? I didn't last past like 5 minutes. Maybe it just wasn't my style.
Okay.
And I love the sitcom, you know, but sometimes people are different in certain places. You know, you're going to get great stand-up or you'll be good in movies. Like Katt is great in movies. I mean, what's one point he was great at both. I just think lately his special's just not been that special. And he knows that. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you get, you know, he's been criticized about it, you know, but it just don't have that, what it used to have. And I mean, that's not taking nothing away from him being a GOAT. It's just that, like, you know, probably give this special shit a break or take time. Don't bring it back to back as if you are like Dave Chappelle. You know, because Dave, you know, between him and his writers are doing a very good job coming up with a special every other year. You know, but just Katt can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I would give Seinfeld a few more tries, though. You know,
For
I
real?
mean,
Maybe
he
I'll watch
had a
longer.
whole thing about buffets that was just so funny about people eating at buffets.
I'll go watch some
Yeah.
more. Maybe I'll turn the first 5 minutes and I was like, it's,
All right. Fair
it's
enough.
time. You know, it was too slow for me, baby.
Well, you explain how Diddy can redeem himself.
I did already?
Yes. You said there's 3 ways for him coming back to life.
Mm-hmm.
1, he would join the Nation of Islam.
Inshallah.
2, he would join the LGBTQ. Or 3, he would just pack up his shit and join a village somewhere in another country.
Well, I mean, he's in jail now, so he can. I mean, the only thing he could do now is pretty much just join some kind of nation Islam. He could join that now. He could do that in prison. You can't leave out the country right now. So that
No.
option number 3 is out. He could join the LGBTQ.
Right.
He's in jail, so
He may have already joined it in jail. Apparently, like, the inmates fight over their right to make up his bed.
I heard. I mean, like I said, man, his sexual preference is his thing, you know, and if he didn't commit those crimes, you know, then he should be free. If he didn't commit those RICO charge and rest of that stuff, then hey, the man should be free. I mean,
Do you think that Diddy's gay or bisexual?
do we think? I mean,
Do you think that he's bisexual?
me personally,
Yes. Right now. If you got $1 million to guess the right answer,
if I admit, I'll say yes.
you would say yes, he's bisexual. Yeah, I would say so too.
Yeah, $1 million,
Yeah.
yes.
If it was a bet right now,
Oh, yeah, I'll put the bet on that.
I'd put a bet on it.
I mean, I've never seen him deny it.
He has denied it.
He
oh,
has?
absolutely. Oh my God.
Unless these are fake things I've been seeing
No,
online
listen.
where they ask him.
I interviewed Wendy Williams, years ago. And if you remember, on the radio, on I believe WBLS in New York, she basically said that she had seen some photos or whatever of Diddy engaging in some gay activities. Diddy threatened to sue the radio station unless they fire her. And she got fired, and that's how she ended up in your town, Philly.
Right.
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Wendy was in Philly for
Yeah,
years.
She was in Philly for years.
You think she chose to go from New York to Philly, a smaller market?
Exactly.
Of course not. It's not a shot at Philly. It's just a smaller market
Diddy
with
been-
less money.
Yeah, Diddy been powerful
Diddy
for a
put
long
her in
time.
Philly.
Wow. Okay, yeah, right. I remember her in Philly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't know Diddy did that.
Diddy did it. Diddy did it. Did he do it? Yes, he did.
Well, I mean, there's proof now. I mean, first of all, you gotta You have to be a bisexual to watch another man fuck your woman. I mean, I'm not looking at another man's dick.
I mean, that seems bisexual, but you could say it's a little gray area since you're not actually doing something with the man himself.
You just looking at another. I guess.
Well, do you watch porn? I mean, that's kind of the
true,
same thing. In a way, you're seeing a man have sex with a woman in front of you. Now, it's not real. It's a video, but it's kind of the same thing. I mean, he's basically just doing a real life porno.
Yeah, but
so that's why I'm saying it's a little, you know, like I gotta remember there was someone I know, someone we all know, heard about a video through Wendy. I'll just put it out there. I guess Wendy told him that there was a video they got of a very famous rapper who was having sex with his girl and she was using a strap-on on him.
Okay.
Now, I remember Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked.
Right.
I interviewed him and I mentioned that. And he goes, well, I don't think that's gay. And he's gay himself. And I'm like, well, I think that's gay. He goes, no, because I think it's kinky, but it's not gay.
You don't think it was gay?
He doesn't think it's gay because there's no man involved, I'm saying, with the other man. It was a woman.
Using a strap on to fuck the guy?
Yeah. To me, that's gay.
That's very gay.
If I'm doing that, then I'll just wear my rainbow outfit and come out the closet. You know what I'm saying? But to me,
gay.
that's gay. It's not something I would ever do.
That's very gay.
But to him, who's actually gay, he says that's not gay, it's just kinky. And the girl's using a strap-on on him. Is that gay?
No, because she's a girl. I know. Look, listen. Everybody right now is clutching their gay pearls because they're like, Vlad, why did you bring this gay man on your show to tell us that this shit ain't gay? This is not trickery. This is just whatever. And again, I think that everybody has their own feelings about what human sexuality is. You know, I think that people should explore whatever they feel comfortable with and then decide to be what they want. Or be led by your faith and believe that certain things are an abomination. If that's what I'm fine with people believing whatever they want. But the reason why I promote sexual fluidity or sexual exploration is because I believe that people should be able to be happy with who they are.
That's gay. That's very gay.
Okay.
You can't get any gayer than that.
Yes, you can. You can absolutely get gayer than that.
That's gay, Jason.
What about a woman eating your ass? Is that gay?
That's close. You know.
See, I don't think that's gay.
You're gay.
I'm gay by liking that. I've had women eat my ass before.
No, I mean,
I'll admit to it. I don't think it's gay. It's me and a woman.
I'm a little exaggerating.
Now, if she pulls out the strap on or she takes the dildo out, then that's where the gay line gets crossed.
I've been, having sex and I see a girl trying to get close to that and I'm like, hey.
Okay, so it's not your thing.
It's not my thing because after you start licking it, that's what you want to do is stick your finger up my ass.
No, that's not my thing either.
Right.
I've had women try that.
Your ass, that's going to be next.
Well, or it could just be as far as it goes. It's really up to you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I just don't, I'm a regular boy, just, fuck the pussy, bust a nut, go to sleep.
Oh, well, have you ever done anal with a girl?
You know what? When I was married at a young age, my ex-wife, had me do it, and I just cussed it. I'll never do that again. That's almost gay, too.
I mean, I've had anal sex with women. Not really my thing, but I've done it before.
Not. I won't do it. I did that one time, and I'm like, no, this is horrible.
You know what it is? It's different from women to women. I've had with some women where it wasn't that enjoyable, and one woman is actually, it actually almost felt the same.
Yeah, that's almost gay.
Listen, sexuality is very
gay.
I was gonna say fluid, but at the end of the day, everyone has their fetishes.
Yeah, I'm just
everyone has things in the bedroom that they would rather keep private. But whatever, it is what it is.
Donald Trump said, "Boys and girls, I'm a boy."
Yeah, no, listen, I'm all for that. Right. If you're biologically born a sex, just because you choose to present yourself differently doesn't mean that you're that person. A man can't have kids, right? A woman can't get another woman pregnant. Right? you know? But I will say this, you know, and I've interviewed trans people on my show, like Sydney Starr and stuff like that. And, you know, I definitely empathize for someone that goes through that extreme. Like, for a man to get a vagina through surgery, you essentially have a permanent open sore. You see what I'm saying? That is prone to infection, and you have to constantly, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I heard. Like, to go through that extreme because you just are not comfortable with the gender that you are, I would never bash anybody for it.
Right.
I definitely feel for you if you have gone through that to make yourself feel whole again.
But my suggestion with that is just do it at an older age where you know for a fact.
Yeah.
You know, you don't do the shit. You know, you go cut your dick off and now you got a new pussy. You know, at 20 years old, now you hit 35 years old and your body realizes attracted to a man. Now your pussy is what? Hard.
A lot of people who get sex changes actually regret it.
And then your dick
and a lot
is
of
wet. We
you
went
know,
with a wet dick or hard pussy.
Yeah, listen, the whole thing is kind of wild.
If you
to
went
me.
home with a wet dick, what's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I don't.
right. So now you got wet dick and a hard pussy. I'm not playing.
Yeah,
Just do that shit. You know, make sure this is what you want to do.
Right.
Do it at 30. I should be 30 years old at least. At 30 years old, I think by then you should know. You 18 years old, you do it now. You got a new dick and your dick is fucking wet because now you realize you love women. Now your
Right.
dick is wet and your pussy's hard. I'm not. No.
Yeah, I think Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner, I believe that he is dating a woman. So does that make him a lesbian or what?
So now his pussy is hard
Yeah,
because he's attracted to a woman.
I guess.
But he got to put. Did he get his dick cut off?
I believe so.
So he has a hard pussy.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't really want to picture that, but you unfortunately
Unless she has a wet
put that in
dick.
my head now. You know,
Damn,
there's a whole lot going on here.
I'm confused.
Well, you did a skit on Chief Keef's album last year. I listened to it. You said in the skit that when it comes to reparations, the lighter skin you are, the less money you get.
You should get. I think so. You didn't go through the struggles of a dark skinned man.
Right. You said Chris Brown, Drake, NBA Youngboy, T.I.,
All of them get $3 each.
Chance the Rapper, $3
$4
each. But all the dark-skinned guys,
Oh, yeah, we went through the struggles.
100 acres,
Oh, yeah.
and
It's
$1 billion.
A mule, 6 goats and a mule, man.
Right. And you also talked about you actually want to become a rapper, and you need a new rap name.
Yes.
And you went down the line. Do you
Well,
remember the
I
names?
didn't. My fans. So what I did, I posted, because I did dip on the dabbing music. I did some Afrobeat music. But at one point, you know,
Wait, you actually did Afrobeat
I
music?
did. I have a song out called Mutombo. I did another one.
Mutombo?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did another song with a guy named Cap G. He's very famous. And then
Okay, I heard of
Five
him.
Mike. We did and I rapped on that. So, you know, and I had little bars. Well, so when that happened, I was like, you know, I put on IG, I said, you know, give me some rap names, fans. My fans were mean, man. Can you name some of the names they called me?
MC Night Night,
Yes.
Joe Limo Tint,
Jill Limington,
and 2 a.m. Black.
2 a.m. Black. Kodak Blacker also.
Kodak Blacker?
50 cents a day. Those are my fans. My fans are my real ghostwriters. Whenever I want some joke, immediately I make a post and just ask them, and then they just write some shit in the comments, and I just write them down.
Right. And you also did a skit on Bang 2 by Chief Keef, his
Oh,
big
yeah.
state. Yeah. And you started
I
talking
did
shit
Bang One,
about
I
him.
did 2 and 1, right?
Possible. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah,
I just
I
found
did
2,
both.
yeah. Where you basically, you dissed him in the skit. You said that every other week you get locked up. You RG2 looking motherfucker. And I had to look at
That was the
what
first one.
I had to look at what RG3 looked like, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see. I see what you're doing.
Man,
here.
he was in jail every other week, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? Since he moved to LA and became like he grew up, you know. And the thing about it, he could tell he's such a legend because this kid is like, you know, still relevant and doing his thing. And he's so loved, especially by the Chicago, you know. And sometimes, a lot of time, man, when you're going through the stress in your city, man, it's best to get it out of there. Get out of the city, let things calm down. You know what I mean? You go back. And then, you know, he goes back and perform, you know. So shout out to Chief, keep doing his thing.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Chicago drill scene is really based off him, honestly.
It sure is.
All of it. All these guys. Lil Durk, G Herbo, you know, King Von, like all these guys. It's really is all based on what he did like 12 years ago.
Yeah, shout out to him. And that's why I like that. I like to see a kid comes out from the gutter and then, you know, get his respect and, you know, and keep it going, man. I'm impressed.
What do you think of LiAngelo Ball as a rapper now?
You know, honestly, I haven't heard a song.
You haven't heard a song?
I haven't heard it. I know he performed at the
Detroit game, actually.
Detroit game.
Yeah.
And I know Cameron said they lost the game because of him, because of performance.
I'll play you a quick.
He got like an $80 million contract, something like that.
I'll play you a little clip from it.
Where is he from?
He's from LA.
Born in LA. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's different. It's on LA like it's more southern.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I interviewed his dad, LeVar Ball.
Oh yeah, LeVar. That's my dog. That's my homie.
Yeah. At his house in LA.
Yeah. So, but he just this is the new era. That's the new era of music. You know. Yeah. And the thing with LeVar, all his sons are like so talented. And he's their biggest hype man.
He is.
And this guy could probably sell me into like a light skin community. That's how LeVar Ball, how much he could sell. He was Michael Blackson's light skin. Okay, and he could convince them that I'm light skinned. You could have me hanging out with Terrence Howard and Drake and tell them I'm part of the light skin community.
People will believe him.
They'll believe him.
Based on his track record.
Yes.
No, listen, like people, I remember were bashing LeVar, and it's kind of like, who wouldn't want a dad that believed in you so much that would dedicate his entire life, even before you were born? Because I remember we went into the whole story. He purposely went and got a woman when he was in college that was extremely tall and extremely athletic, that played, I believe she played on the basketball team as well, and purposely set out to make athletic kids.
I didn't know that.
No, true story.
That's so true. You could
And
actually
look,
play.
all three of them, I mean, listen, two of them are basketball stars. The third, you know, he didn't quite make it in the NBA, but, you know, he was close.
So there's the fourth one as a rapper.
No, it's the third one.
So he played, well, he did play for a little bit.
He did, but he didn't get a full-blown NBA contract like Melo and Lonzo.
Lonzo's the older one.
Lonzo, Melo. Melo's like the biggest star of them all. You know, got his own like Puma deal and huge contract. But Lonzo was great also, but he had some injuries. He had like a meniscus that he had to get. They literally had to put a new meniscus in his leg.
He's so lucky, man. Get 3 boys and all millionaires, multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm a big fan of like have a lot of kids, man. Because you never know which ones is going to be something.
Well, yeah, but you can't just have kids and just, you know, hope the moms do a good job and not be there. No, he trained every kid himself. I think he started when they were like 4 or something, like literally drills at his house every day. Like they were like teens playing adults. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, he did that. In fact, Lonzo and LaMelo are the only 2 brothers in NBA history that were top 3 draft picks.
For real?
That's never happened before. Now, there's been, you know, siblings that have done well, but not top 3 draft picks.
We got Horace Grant. I got to look into that. How about the Grant brothers?
Horace Grant was a 10th overall draft pick, so that already takes him out of the conversation.
So it was his top 3? What was it? What did you say? What's your question?
Lonzo and Melo were both top 3 draft picks.
Oh, they were? Okay, they were top 3. I didn't know Lonzo was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Second or third.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
That's not easy to do. You're talking about out of everyone in the whole world, and at this point, it's every country, every weird European country, every outskirt in Africa and Australia and New Zealand and whatever else, out of all those humans that are trying to get into the NBA, all the 7-footers and whatever.
But he cheated though. The dad he went and found a tall woman to make tall kids, and that's like, but you can't you just do that in a lab now with this thing what they call when they
in vitro?
In vitro. Well, I know about tall. I know you can create eyes and you can
No, you can't do that. You can't create eyes. You could choose gender. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
How about intelligence? Don't they put the small sperm together?
Well, I mean, you could get an egg from a woman that's very smart, and you could hope for the best. And if you're smart yourself, but
hold on, I saw the
you
movie
could end up having a retarded kid.
I saw
in the
movie
process.
Twins with Dan DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. Yeah, that's a movie. It's fiction. Right, but for example, Yao Ming, his parents were put together by the Chinese government because both his parents were obscenely tall.
When they made them fuck each other, like with a gun to their hand. Like,
I don't think they did quite that, but they kind of promoted them to get married and have kids, and they made a goddamn Yao Ming in the process.
That's crazy.
But that's China. That's a little bit
saying
different.
you got to think about that nowadays when you about to get somebody pregnant. You can't go fuck a midget and expect to have a 7-foot kid.
Yeah, you won't have a 7-foot kid if you fuck a midget. This is true.
So I think from here on, guys, if you're listening, you want to create an NBA player, find a woman at least 5'11", right? Guy, you at least got to be 6'2", 6'3". You want to make a football player, then, you got to put these kids together.
Yeah. I mean, LeVar Ball's wife is 6'1".
Oh, wow.
And she's female. So you got to think, I'm 6'2", almost my height. And he's like 6'4", I think.
Yeah, at least.
And they're both athletic, not just tall and lanky and, uncoordinated. They're both athletic. And, on top of having very tall kids, they trained them like crazy. Like he was a personal trainer. So his wife, I think, was like a teacher. So she had like the stable job. And he just spent his whole time training his kids and training other people.
All right, okay, well, if you're not going to create these athletes, I would suggest just have a lot of kids. As a parent, you just need one successful one to take care of you. My mom had 8 kids. If she would have stopped at 5, she'd been screwed.
You were the one that...
I'm the one that take care of mom, So I'm glad she's probably very happy she kept going.
Right.
So, yeah. So 1 out of 10 going to come out good.
Right.
I mean, so that's all you need as a parent.
Yeah, look, LeAngelo, they're saying he got a $13 million deal with Def Jam. That number
I thought it was 80. What does $80 million
I don't know where that 80 came from. That's not a real number. I've never heard that before. No.
13 is still a lot. That's pretty
But
good.
I don't even, they're saying $8 million guaranteed. Maybe that's where you got the 8 number. But it wasn't 80, it's 8. But even that seems a little bit high.
That's higher.
Seems a little bit high. But look, it is what it is at this point, He's got a song. It's got like 50 million streams. He's performing at,
he's a ball.
Major...
At the end of the day, he's a B-A-L-L.
Yeah.
The last name too,
So last summer, Ice Cube said that Last Friday is in the works. He said, we finally got some traction and him and Warner Brothers are finally working things out.
It's good.
7-8 months later, I haven't heard a peep. Have you heard anything considering that you potentially could be in it?
I mean, if it's going to happen, I'm 100% sure I'll be in it. If it happens, he said it was going to happen, so I'm almost sure it will. But if it's going to happen, we got to hurry up before everybody die. Everybody's dying. That was in the movie. We lost a lot of people.
I mean, Debo's dead.
You keep changing the script every time.
Red's father's dead.
Yeah. AJ Johnson.
AJ Johnson's dead.
Oh, God. Of course, you can't forget the...
the guy, the Green Mile guy. I mean, I know he didn't have a big role, but he was in it.
He was in it.
He died.
Even the girl,
Michael Duncan.
The girl, she was a comedian too. Shucks. She died years ago though. I think she was the one she was a blind date when Chris Tucker had a blind date.
Bernie Mac is dead. John Witherspoon is dead. LaWanda Page is dead.
The white kid that was in the second one is dead. The one that was working in the record store.
Oh yeah.
Roach.
Yvette Wilson.
Yvette Wilson, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yvette's dad.
And, who I said Red's father, Ronaldo Ray.
Ronaldo Ray, yeah.
Quite a number of people.
Yeah, so, but I mean, hey, Cuba's that talented where you could put something brilliant together, I mean, you still got Chris Tucker, you still got Epps, we still have me, you still have freaking Ricky Smiley, we still have Cat Williams,
No, you have a lot of people.
We have a lot.
I mean, because there's so many, 3 movies, right?
3.
Yeah. I mean, who's the Mexican dude? That was
Mexican
the
dudes
second
are
one.
still alive. The Jokers.
Yeah, I mean, Craig's mother, she's still alive.
His sister.
Was it Miss Johnson? Wait.
Yes. Miss Parker.
Miss Parker, sorry.
In fact, I seen her at, I went to a Bobby Brown. He has this nonprofit event. He does this for his daughter that passed away. And I saw her, Miss Parker.
Yeah, I interviewed her during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, she still looks good.
She still looks good. So
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to see her in the shorts again, but she still looks good for her age.
well, all those guys that fantasize about her, I mean, now they probably have a chance now.
You probably have a chance. You can bring your own hose with you, like
I'm waiting for Rihanna to become a single mother. Then I know I probably have a chance.
Well, she's not married.
Well, she would.
You got a chance.
I mean, guys, there's always a chance.
Well, Rocky might go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not joking about it, but I'm just saying if he goes to jail.
Yeah, Cardi B's a single mother now.
You're right. Cardi B single.
So all those guys that fantasize about those superstar ladies, hey, they're becoming single. Wait for them. They'll be single one day. Beyonce will be single one day. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Jay's gonna let go of that.
Yeah, he probably not.
He probably won't. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. But I hope they do it because I could honestly say that Friday, the original, is probably a top 5 all-time movie for me.
100%.
It was that good.
Top 5 comedies.
Yes.
Let me try to think of my top 5 comedies all time. Coming to America, the original one, gotta be, it's number 1 for me. Coming to America is number 1.
Okay, that's 1.
Friday has to be number 2.
Okay, so that's 2. Can I throw some out there for you?
Yeah, let me hear.
Anchorman? No? Okay. I loved Anchorman.
I liked Wedding Crasher.
Wedding Crashers, okay.
That's good. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Okay, so that's 4.
I don't think Pulp Fiction was comedy, but I won't put it in comedy. I won't put that as comedy. Let me go back to let me see. Let's go back to full comedy with comedians. Let me think of the person. Oh my God. Of course, Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cops. But that was kind of, Beverly Hills Cops. Was it comedy? Yeah, it wasn't comedy.
Beverly Hills Cop was a comedy.
It was comedy, right?
Yeah.
All right, Beverly Hills Cops. And then let me think of, well, with the Wayans brothers, I think I said I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. Was probably, it was one of course, that's the first time I saw a real funny cameo with Chris Rock. He had a cameo in that movie. That was his big break.
Wait,
I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Oh, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
One rib. Yes. 1 rib. I mean, there's Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights, oh my God. Life.
Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing.
There's House Party.
House Party.
There is.
They don't make movies like they did anymore, man. It's back then we had the real classics, man.
Yeah, I feel like me and Tony Yayo had a whole back and forth about this, about how like when you think about all the best movies, a lot of them are like 90s, 80s.
Man, this is
Top 100 movies are going to be older movies. It's not going to be nothing new. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. 80s,
yeah,
90s.
You're right. I think you actually have a point here. I'm looking at all these.
Yeah, I mean, we talking about Eddie Murphy, Raw.
No, you're right. When you talk about those
any
movies.
Richard Pryor movie, any John Candy movie, Uncle Buck, I told you that's one of my favorites. Home Alone, 1, 2, and 3. What movies compared to now? The older movies are better.
Yeah.
Way better. And more classic and last forever.
Like, it's kind of hard. It's almost like
what?
Something just kind of
Can't
got
forget
lost.
16 Candles. That's my shit. Weird Science.
48 Hours.
48 Hours. Oh my goodness.
Trading Places.
Trading Places.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Go back to even Chevy Chase era. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy kind of had a chokehold on the 80s and 90s. Like everything he did was just like, you know, he had a few.
The Nutty Professor.
Yeah, Nutty Professor. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Crazy. Yeah, let's go to Chris Tucker. Money Talk. Rush Hour.
Rush Hour. Yep. Yeah, it's a lot, man.
A lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But I still would say, even with naming all those, Friday had a magic of its own.
Yeah, it did.
And had a replay value where you could just keep watching it over and over again and always find something new. And Chris Tucker was so obviously the star.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember how he wasn't even supposed to even get the role. They kind of, I think like
Really?
Faison and like some other people like helped him work on the lines and stuff like that. And it was like, yeah.
What do you mean, he was having a problem with the lines?
Yeah, like originally I don't even think he was going to audition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, what? It was the best
Faison is
mistake
still
that-
alive.
Who?
Faison Love.
Oh, yeah, Faison.
He played Big Worm.
Big Worm.
Yeah.
I even like Faison Love, and he did a cameo in Money Talks.
Oh yeah, in the prison, in the jail scene.
Yeah.
He said, they grab you.
He grabbed you like, was it like this?
He said, what's your shirt off for? He said that was all ad-lib, by the way. They just made all that. They just
But
made
that's
all that
how,
up.
even with Next Friday, which was my first break, with me and Mike Epps, at that time, we were young comics, and we just ad-libbed the whole movie. The only thing that was in that movie that was on the script was the words, I can't get jiggy with this shit. Everything else that I said with him was all ad-lib. And when I even saw the movie, because when they shoot the movie, after the movie is done, they have a cast and crew go watch this movie. And when I watched it, I hated my plot. I'm like, because we did so much more funnier things. So much more that I was disappointed in what it chose. I didn't start liking it till when the movie came out, I'll go to the movie theater, sit in the back and see how people react to my scene. And they started to like it, and then slowly the words just started getting around. And that's when I started liking it. But I guarantee you, we did so much more funnier shit than the one they picked.
Like, what was funny in the movie that you did that didn't make the cut?
I won't remember.
You don't remember?
I just knew that when I saw what I saw, I'm like, oh, hell no. I did so much more funnier things. And the thing about it, this is what I conclusion I came up with, okay? The guy that edited this movie is not on set when we shooting this movie. His job is to pick the best angles and the best angles. You know what I mean? I don't think this guy might have a sense of humor. Whoever the editor was. Most of the editors don't have it. This job is to make sure you get the best angle, and when you're dealing with a black audience, we ain't trying to get editing Oscar for the editors. We just want to laugh. And I think, if Ice Cube was in that room was being edited, you would have probably took some other different scenes that we did, because I know we did so much more funny shit.
You don't think Ice Cube sits with the editor? Was Ice Cube the director?
No, he didn't direct the movie.
He was just the producer.
Steve, He was Steve Carr that directed.
Oh, okay. So I see. So Ice Cube may not have been in the editing bay saying,
I doubt
move
it.
this,
Trust me, if
change
he was
this,
there.
cut here.
Because he did that scene with us, he would remember, like, oh, they did this, Because, I know when I'm shooting, I've shot some little independent movies of mine, but I sit in the editing room because if I wasn't there, I know what the editor's going to do. He's going to find the best angles instead of the best jokes.
Yeah.
Because he's just more just trying to worry about his job. Me, I just want to put something funny out that the crowd going to laugh at,
Was the dashiki, was that in wardrobe, or did you bring your own dashiki?
Well, they knew that I was an African, and the thing about it, when I auditioned for the movie, it wasn't for an African.
Oh.
It was just for an angry guy coming into the store, and I just made it my own. So when they knew, when I went in there and did it in Michael Blackson, when they brought a dashiki in the wardrobe, like, all right, well, he's African, put the dashiki on him. It wasn't for an African guy.
Okay.
And it even, and it was just supposed to be like, in fact, the character's called Angry Customer number 1. It didn't even have a real name.
Huh.
Yeah.
But your name was Michael Blackson at that point.
My name always been Michael Blackson.
But that's not your actual name, is it?
It's my actual name.
That was the name you were born with.
Since I was 3 years old, that's the name I've had.
What's your name before you were 3?
I mean, it was my mother's last name, which was Bianca.
So what's your full African name?
Michael, Bianca. Boy, this is what Blackson work. Let me tell you, this is top secret.
Okay, here we go.
Blackson, well, my mom, after she gave birth to me, now my younger sister, after my younger sister, my mother gave her life to Christ. She became an evangelist, all right? When she gave her life to Christ and became an evangelist, my mother was really in with you would think she was like the 13th disciple. I mean, she was really she was like God's right-hand woman.
Okay.
Okay? And my mom lived this very religious life that she raised us as. And then, and my dad was more traditional guy, and, she felt like he didn't want to live that life. So because of that, she didn't feel like they belonged together anymore.
Oh, because he wasn't as religious as she was.
He wasn't trying to live that.
That's too bad, man. I hate to hear stuff like that.
Yeah. So my mother took us away from my dad.
Because he didn't want to
live that
worship Christ in the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, as an adult, you're not very religious yourself, are you?
Not like I used to be as a kid. Now I'm not. I have a personal relationship with God. That's it.
Okay.
I'm
not very religious. I mean, I'm Jewish, but I'm not very religious.
Yeah. So when she took us from my dad, she changed our name to Blackson, meaning son of a black man. That's all that is. So I've been there since 3 years old.
Even though the black man is no longer around.
Well, and she's like any black man, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I was Blackson from 3 years old.
Did you maintain a relationship with your dad?
What? I was 3 years old. We didn't have internet.
No, that's not what I mean. But I mean, as you got older, did you reunite with your dad?
I saw my dad on maybe one more occasion, and then I didn't see him after.
Really?
Yeah. So I remember going back at 8 years old when I think at this time she was trying to get us some passports and stuff, paperwork. And I remember being on the porch, and I remember the guy coming up to me. Mind you, I haven't seen him since I was 3 or whatever. He said he was my dad, and I remember having a brief conversation with him, and I remember telling my mom, "There's a man on the porch that he's my dad," and I had a brief conversation with him, and then that was it. And then he died maybe 15 years ago. Never saw him.
Huh? That's too bad, man.
But it's so funny. I was recently, the other day, I was with some lady. I was in Pittsburgh visiting my kids. And then I went, one of my buddy owns a clothing store, and I went there. I just stopped through there. He wasn't there, but it was a lady there that works there, And then we just started communicating, talking. We talked about because she mentioned something about she died at one point for 3 minutes, and she told me what happened after death, and then I also told her my experience with that. And then right before I left, she said there's an older person that's passed that is very proud of you. And that made me thought about my dad. Yeah. But besides, when he passed, it didn't really hurt me because I didn't know. You don't know.
You didn't know him. Yeah, I mean, you can't be sad over someone that you barely met.
Yeah. My sister, got mad at my mother about this, because my sister, when she went back and did her research, went back to his village where he's from, because we actually thought he moved on with life and had more kids and whatever. But then she found out that this guy never had a kid and he died from a broken heart because his kids was taken away.
So all 8 kids?
Well, 7. My mom later married a pastor.
Oh.
And then had my youngest sister.
So
all 7 kids.
All of his 7 kids that he had with your mom, he never got to see them again.
No, I think my older sisters, because when I came to America, my older brother and sister were still back home. I think my older sister got to see him. In fact, my younger sister, I'm currently writing my book right now, my life story. And I hired my sister to write for me. And she's doing all the research. And my older sister did have some kind of relationship, but she didn't tell us much. And because of that, my younger sister, of course, the one that did all the research, she's mad at everybody. I said, what I told her? I said, listen, it was part of the God's plan. Let's say if our daddy was in our life. Our daddy was in our life, and we stayed back home, we never left. We wouldn't be where we are today, making a difference to the world. So that's part of God's plan. God had a plan, And that was part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see how you could look at it that way.
Yeah, 100%. Look, that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
You know, because I would have never left the village. I've probably been happy, but I would not be changing the word
Yeah.
like I am now.
No, people would not know Michael Blackson.
People wouldn't know Michael Blackson. It
You'd
might
be just a kid in Ghana.
be a kid in Ghana, a grown man in Ghana, or
Yeah.
a grown man
Yeah,
in
grown man
Liberia.
in Ghana. You'd have a family,
or grown-
kids, and yeah.
Yeah, you know. So God had a plan for me to change. At least make a difference in Africa. I'm definitely passionate about the continent, you know, and I'm gonna do what mine's is. I think everything starts with education. That's why I decided to build that free school, and that's just the beginning with Ghana. I'm gonna do one in Liberia this year. You know, I want to maybe extend one to Nigeria, but I don't want to. Nigeria might be something I might think about because there's so many superstars in Nigeria. I don't want to go up there and act like I'm stepping on their toes. Like, who are you to come to my country and build a school when we have, you know, when I'm a millionaire, I should be doing this. You know, so I might ease up on Nigeria because so many superstars from Nigeria, whether it's musicians or athletes, so many rich people that should be doing these things already. You know what I mean? So I might lay off Nigeria because there's other motherfuckers' job. But Liberia is this year, and then, you know, I might do one more. I haven't decided where, and then I'll be done giving away my money.
That's what it is. Michael Blackson. Always a pleasure when we get up.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
All the best, man, and congrats on everything you're doing. And look, I'm sorry you lost some money along the way, but you know,
It's not lost. The money is still alive.
It's still alive somewhere.
I'm gonna get our
It's
new
held captive right now. It's a hostage.
It's kidnapped.
It's kidnapped
by the African cartel.
Yeah, we'll see who they give back first, your money or the hostages that Hamas currently has.
I'll get my money back.
You'll get your money back first? That's what it is. Peace.